Pigs for. Oh, here we go. Hello and welcome to the Arcade Hangout, episode number 120. We are a bunch of arcade collectors who like to meet once a week to chat about our hobby of collecting arcade games, and we are
the longest running live arcade podcast on YouTube. Woohoo!
And still without a musical intro.
Yeah. We are now 20% more than the next guy.
Yeah.
For boycotting. No music for us.
Yeah.
No music, and we still need to find a new logo.
And we are also officially a host of a very, very well organized and run tournament.
Greg Fest.
Which we'll probably get into a little bit later.
Sure.
But before we do that, let's just get tonight's question done and over with. We are doing another Selkie burn. This is the last of the 34K. One of our hosts, Andrew, one of our regulars, one of our founding fathers, even, who unfortunately, I believe, had a power outage. I think he might be in chat.
Yeah, he shared a picture with us earlier. There was a tree like a couple doors down from him.
And he's not even in chat. I think he was in chat off of his phone earlier, but I don't think he is now. Maybe he'll pop in, but he set a bunch of stuff up in our little chat area of all these Selkie burns to organize them for us, and this is the last of the about half dozen that he set up. And so tonight's Selkie burn is Space Harrier, Afterburner, and Outrun.
It's all a tribute to Sarah Zielinski.
Yes, we
Those
know
are all her favorite
she
games.
hates those games.
If anyone has seen her posts on Facebook, you guys would know that I think these are probably all her favorites.
Yeah, she already said she's not picking one, but I told her she has to.
She says that every week. Hey, you got a little guy here. So we know there's one of our hosts here that loves answering these questions weeks, and that's Mr. Jim Bodini. So again, of course, tonight we will start with Dave from Buffalo.
Perfect.
Ding.
The Dark
This
Man.
is a tough one. I know. I have the Dark Man. My friend was looking at it. He goes, "Dude, your camera sucks. Everyone else
Liz the Dark Man."
And I'm like, "Yeah, I need your camera."
Turn on the light. Yes, there you go. There you go. That helps a little.
Just to answer the question.
I'm going to. I kind of like them all too.
You're
Hey,
fired.
they're all cool.
The point of these questions is to make it difficult.
Yeah,
Right, yeah.
exactly.
Holy shit!
All right, I'm gonna sell Outrun because I think you can always get it again.
That a boy.
There's a million of those around, so it's not a big
Good
deal.
answer.
And I think I'm going to. Oh God!
Do some push-ups.
I'm gonna keep the Space Harrier and burn the Afterburner,
Nice.
even though I like to
Sweet.
put.
I don't have to give my answer now. Perfect.
Adam's here.
And,
Yay.
And let's pass it off to Adam, but you got to inform him what the question is.
The question is, when is the pole position?
Oh,
Wait, I'm getting another call. I'll see you guys.
I gotta go.
It was too much of a setup. It was too easy. I could not.
That was pretty funny.
Oh man.
So in case you didn't see read it in the email, the question is sell, keep, burn. You can choose Space Harrier, Afterburner, or Outrun. So you got to choose which one you want to sell, which one you're going to keep, and which one you want to burn.
I would keep Afterburner. My son loves Afterburner ever since we played at Brofest. He had a hoot in the sit-down version that kind of,
You want the motion simulated one?
That one? Yeah.
Motion simulated. Nice.
So I would keep that one. I would probably sell Outrun. Outruns are actually pretty hot right now in my area. And I would burn Space Harrier. Never had a thing for Space Harrier. I could not see the attraction of that game. I don't know. It just seemed like there's too much stuff going on. You're just bouncing around, shooting all these things. And it's kind of like Blaster. I never understood that game either. Just like shoot everything.
Carrie's perfect game.
all games need fire buttons.
That's why
Green
Eyes is so
ones.
good. Yeah.
There's a fire button on this Frogger.
Oh my god, Frogger's so much better.
That's like the eyes version of Pac-Man. That'd be like the Frogger version of it with the fire button.
Yeah, that'd be perfect.
That's modded.
That would be. You could
Mount some
throw
rocket
things-
launchers.
What
on
would
the
you What would
back.
you call it? Like toads or like? Well, I guess it would have to be like potatoes. It'd have to be a vegetable. So call it like zucchini or something like that.
I don't know. Revenge
Something
of
real
Frogger.
random.
And this time it's personal.
Yeah, right.
So how's this work? What do? I pass it off to somebody?
Yeah.
Yep.
Who hasn't gone?
You act like you've never
Everybody
been on
but
here
Dave.
before.
From
Yeah, I know.
Buffalo.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, say that
It
again,
has been
Brad.
a while.
Everybody but Dave from Buffalo. He's gone.
Oh, okay. I will give it to Jim Odini.
Well, that's like a crime this day and age. No one
Yeah,
passes
what's
it to
going
me.
on here?
I'm going to reflect a lot of what Dave said. I would take, and actually, Adam, you were talking about playing Afterburner at Fun Spot. I played the full motion version of Space Harrier the first time at Fun Spot a couple years ago.
Oh, okay.
For Brofest 2, and I thought that was fucking awesome. So I would
agree.
keep the full motion Space Harrier. I would sell
Oh, see, now I
Afterburner.
gotta Google that.
I would sell Afterburner, and I would burn Outrun, because Outruns pop up all the fucking time. Like they're out there, and they don't command. At least around here, they don't command a lot of money.
I remember Andrew playing Space Harrier where he could barely fit in it. That was awesome.
His knees are way out the side.
You know,
It's the same with watching him play Road Blasters over
Yeah.
at Fun Spot too, and Prop Cycle.
Wasn't it like Sunday and like the four of us kind of walked around and played a few games or
Mhm.
something like that?
Yeah, we tried
was
to play
fun.
every game. I think if you hadn't played
We
one of
walked
them,
around. Yeah.
that was fun. I will pass it off to Gak.
all right. Okay, so Space Harrier, Afterburner, Outrun. All right, so yeah, I have no desire on Outrun, because pole position, especially when FPGA comes out, is the one to keep.
That's the only racing game to get.
Yeah, so Outrun, burn it. Sorry, it's getting burnt. Afterburner, I played that a little, but I don't really have much for that, so I'll just go ahead and sell that one. Space Harrier, I actually did play a lot back in the day, so there was a full motion one on that too, right? Did we talk about that? I don't know.
I just
Yeah,
talked
Space
about.
Harrier.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Thanks for listening, asshole.
Yeah. I'm checking in beers, I'm like dual,
It's weird. They had a
Multitasking.
sit down one that didn't do anything. You just sat down like a cockpit, I guess, but
There
but
was
it didn't
full motion
surround
for
you.
all
Yeah,
three of
Fun
these
Fun
games,
Spot.
actually.
Fun Spot has a full motion.
The one that
full-
moves with hydraulics.
And it's really yeah, and it's really smooth. Like I was really impressed with how like I don't know, just it wasn't like rugged or it didn't vibrate a ton. It was just like it was really smooth.
Does
My
it just
kids love
rock
this.
side to side, or does it go, in this motion like the Afterburner?
I think just a little bit, but it's mostly side to side
was
if I
mostly
recall.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's interesting. There is full motion for all three of these games.
Huh. Interesting.
That's right.
Yeah.
Must be there with the hardware. There's
There's,
just
there's
like
a cockpit version of Outrun.
Yeah.
Yeah, that has full motion. Yeah.
Oh,
There's
I
a
didn't
couple
know that.
copy versions. There's like
Slide-
a small
doesn't it-
one that doesn't move. And then
Yeah.
And
It
there's a full
slides.
motion one. Yeah.
It slides left and right a little bit on the Afterburner.
Really?
Yeah. There's one by me, up by me. There's actually
By
a
the
full
s-
motion Afterburner and Outrun up by me.
I
if
told
had
you
the
I went-
space, I would totally get the super hang on.
Sarah
If I
says
had
it doesn't
to-
use
Oh, yeah.
hydraulics. Are you talking about Afterburner or are you talking about Outrun, Sarah?
Electric motors, it says.
I went and looked at a guy who had two full motion Afterburners. I don't know what I was thinking. They were size of Volkswagens.
Electric
Yeah,
motors.
they're
big.
And they were really cheap. Like he was like
Yeah,
both
it-
900. You can make one good one. And I'm like, what was I thinking? Why?
She's
am I-
so shaking. She's
Why am
so
I here?
pissed off right now. She's so shaking her head at us right now. She's like, "You idiots! It doesn't use fucking water."
Yeah. I was going to say, if there's one person that knows all about this out of our whole group here, Sarah's the one who could lay the smack down on
Yeah,
the info.
Sarah.
Don't make me come in there and strain you out.
Sarah, do you want to come on the show and give us a rundown?
But if she comes on, she has to pick to burn one.
Yep. You have to
Yeah.
tell us what you're gonna burn.
All right, so that was my pick. Let's see. We'll go with Mock.
Okay, well, I've already owned an Outrun, so I'm going to burn that fucker. And I will probably sell. God, I'm pretty good at Space Harrier. Okay at Afterburner. I don't know which one I'd keep out of those two. Probably Space Harrier, I guess. I used to play that a lot. I know Adam says he wasn't connected to it, but I played it a lot in arcades. I loved it. Then when it came out on Genesis, I bought a Genesis just to play that game, and it was pretty good on that system. So, yeah, it's pretty fun. It's pretty weird shooting dragons stuff. I'll keep Space Harrier and sell Afterburner. That's my answer.
I'm with you. They're both fun games. I like.
Yeah,
I like
they're both a lot of fun.
And I remember seeing Afterburner more than Space Harrier.
So yeah, if you sold exactly what you said.
Yeah,
Space Harrier, you never see those. You never see
Chuck
those.
E. Cheese had a full motion Afterburner, and then I remember Pizza Hut had the upright Afterburner. But I think I only saw Space Harrier a handful of times in arcades.
Yeah, I don't see them ever for sale. Hardly ever on Craigslist or anything. They just don't pop up anymore.
Can you convert any of those games? Like, not the cabinets, but I mean, like, are the board? Because don't they all use like similar hardware?
I don't know. That's a Keith
Sarah,
question.
can you
I
answer?
feel like
Sarah Keith can answer that question.
because the upright Afterburner is that a lot different than the upright Space Harrier? Like the
I know they all
cabinet?
look like the same scaling technology and everything.
Yeah.
You know.
Oh.
Well, the full motions are completely different. I
You
know
said
that.
all
Right.
3 games use electric motors.
But can you like switch out ROMs on the board and then make it an Afterburner into a Space Harrier?
There is a thread.
I don't
on,
think so, but
there's a thread on Claude that's all about which games can be converted to which.
Yeah,
games
what was the other one with like the motocross?
Enduro Racer or something?
Enduro Racer.
Enduro
I think
Racer.
you can convert an Enduro Racer to Space Harrier.
Enduro Racer.
Oh wow,
But
That's
I'm not 100% sure on that.
Anyways, I got sidetracked.
every time I hear Enduro Racer, I always think of that movie Can't Buy Me Love, where he's playing it really rough. Like, you shit in my house, man! You shit in my house! You shit in my house!
Oh, I love that. I love that movie so much.
You know what I'm talking about? That scene.
Cars with the tards.
Look, it's a nerd herd.
Oh, I love that movie.
That's
That
so
girl just
bad.
died.
So
She just
cheesy.
died, right, this year? Or was that last year?
Last year, I
Yeah,
think,
last
yeah.
year the girl died. Yeah, OD
Really?
or something. Yeah, the blonde.
Yeah, that was had a crush on
Career
her.
in the
She was like
toilet.
in tons of 80s movies.
She was
Yeah.
in
Amanda Peters.
Yes, yeah.
I
She
saw her in-
she was the love interest of Ethan Hawke in Explorers. The
Oh,
three
that's
boys in
right.
space.
She was
Wow.
young
Yeah.
in that.
Wow,
I saw
okay.
her in the last movie I saw her in. It was another teenage thing. She's at a college campus and she's walking around with like crutches. Remember that movie? The guy from Grey's Anatomy that was in Can't Buy Me Love too. He was in the movie, I think.
Patrick.
Anyway.
Patrick Dempsey.
Yeah, but there wasn't. It was a different thing though.
Well, Sarah says Space Harrier and Enduro Racer are the same hardware, and Afterburner and Thunderblade, but you couldn't do Afterburner and Space Harrier. So Thunderblade, that name sounds familiar, but
That's that dumb helicopter
It's a
game.
helicopter game, yeah.
helicopter version of
Afterburner.
Of
That's
the
where, yeah.
goodness, all of them.
Interesting. Cool.
Well,
All right,
I don't know. I mean, it's May and there's still snow on the ground, so if things don't turn around, we're gonna have to end up burning all 3 just to stay warm.
Yeah. Right.
Oh jeez.
I heard somebody says that they go, I hope winter falls on a weekend this year.
And we got
I'm sorry, summer. I hope summer
13
falls.
inches of snow. 13 fucking inches of snow on was that Saturday?
Yeah.
That was ridiculous. And now the roads are at least cleared out. But I'm like, come on, the joke's over. It's mid-April already.
Yeah.
Fucking weather.
The worst it was like 60 degrees here for like a day, and then it just dropped to like 40, and then 30 and 20. Just like so you got all excited. You thought it was over. You're bringing out your lawn furniture and all that kind of stuff, and then bam, and you get hit with snow again. It's like
Edmonton, Alberta, which is where our buddy Chance lives, or is he in Calgary? That area. Oh, it's actually D-Hack D, the gentleman who made the sweater that Mock won. I believe he's in Edmonton.
Oh yeah.
They set a record this year. I think it's 168 days below freezing in a row.
In a row?
In a row, yeah. 168 days in a row below freezing.
Holy fuck.
Yeah.
We had a record kind of like that, but it wasn't days in a row. We had like 90 some that were like super sub-zero temperatures, and that was like 2014, I think.
Yeah, they had like 168 days. I don't know if it's still going or not, but yeah, it was just last week they broke their old record. I don't even know if it got below freezing in Vancouver at all this year.
So in the IRC, we're supposed to continue talking about weather, and not.
This is starting to sound like the people that are in the arcade.
Electric Dreams really likes hearing about weather, I think.
Yes. Yeah.
So who was last? Who needs to pass it here? Let's get the question done over with.
Mark was last.
Stop talking weather, talking arcades. That's all caps too.
Yeah.
Like, listen to me. Listen to me.
That's my favorite. Can you use more chat lingo too? Like, don't spell out you, just the letter and.
And he says, "Lad, seriously, come on. Hey, there is a lady here. I'll tell you, 200% more lady than any other arcade podcast right now."
So if a guy is a lad,
she's twice the woman of any other woman that's been on a show.
If a guy's a lad, what's a girl then?
A lady.
Lass.
Lads.
Okay. Lads and
I am
lassies.
the last one.
It's always confusing in restaurants when they don't have women and men. I'm like, which one is that? Am I? When they're so strange titles.
Oh yeah,
when you really have to use the can and you're staring at each door and you're like, which one do I go in?
Damn it! They don't have a diagram.
Yeah.
I was at the casino and an Asian guy was just standing outside the restaurant because he didn't know which one was men or women. and he looked at me and I tried to explain like I'm like 1, 2, 3. That's men and 5 letters is women. Because he's just looking, he's pointing at me like, which one do I go in? And I look at him, I start laughing. I'm like, oh, I get it, because you don't read English.
Yeah.
He doesn't know.
Yeah.
And then he goes, then he has Mexican food and it says hombre. He's like, what the fuck?
Yeah. There was a bar in Sacramento that actually had a bunch of, it was the first place that I was in a bar where they had arcade games. They had a bunch of pinball and a couple of vids. And they had in big letters the opposite gender on the door, and then with an arrow pointing to the other door, so that
it confused everyone.
Yeah, exactly. Actually, that was I think. What was it? It's in Old Sac. I forgot what the Fanny Ann's Slim in Old Sac.
Okay.
That's just evil. That was
that's a great name. Hey, Fanny Ann's in Old Sac.
In Old Sac.
Yeah.
I don't know. Do you guys remember Sniglets? That was a sniglet. That's where I got that from. It was called Genderplex. And it was like the guys in front of the bathroom that said turtles and tortoises, and he didn't know which one to go in. He was looking at both of them. It was Genderplex. Yeah, because you don't know which restroom is.
That's when you just give up and piss on the wall right there.
Advice from Gag.
Yeah.
I'll try to figure out the physics for me to do that.
Dave just looks for the closest lake.
Where's water?
Diapers.
You just kind of casually lean back.
Yeah.
Dave,
Dave's like, there's a body of water.
Get your back, lean against the wall. You're all good.
Okay,
Yeah,
Mock.
All right, so who hasn't gone?
And while you're picking, if the Gleek doesn't get on this fucking show soon,
Right?
Yeah, Gleek.
we're gonna ban the IRC chat from him.
Oh no.
Yeah, we're gonna use AOL from now on.
Yes.
I miss him and his Velvet
he's
Elvira
online
poster.
every week with us, but he's not coming on the show. So
Carrie and Seabart have not gone.
All right, Carrie, go for it.
Okay. So I know that this has been said already, but that's the nature of this kind of beast. I would keep Space Harrier. It's really the only one that I have. Like, I played it for the first time, the full motion one at Fun Spot, and that was a blast. So that's the only one I really have like particularly fond memories of. They're all fine games, but they're not part of my my thing. So I would keep the Space Harrier. I would probably burn the Outrun because I'm same with what Jimbo said. I see a lot of them.
There's a
So
million of
that
them out there.
Yeah, that seems like it's the most common. And so I would sell the Afterburner. Although that is also a fun game. They're all fun games, but yeah, none of them are like, oh yeah, I have the childhood memories. Like, nah, not so much. So I will pass it to Seabart. That's because he's in Mexico. I mean, Canada.
Yeah, that's right.
Automobile.
Canada.
He shares the border with United States, California.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. It's either U.S. United States' hat or our beard. It's
It's like giving someone the gold star when I play that sound. You never know who it's gonna be, but
What are they? Okay. Keep Outrun. Haven't played the other two. So I'm going to
Makes
say
it easy.
burn Afterburner, just for the cliche, and sell Harrier.
oh, I see what you did there.
Delayed reaction, nice.
There's a lag,
Uh,
and that's it, huh? We're done.
Did Orange Whip go?
I have not gone yet. No,
So we're done.
we're done. Oh, payback, retribution, right there.
Yeah.
All right.
I will not go until I get the dent dent.
I did it. I did. You get 2 then.
Well, I will probably be one of the few that says I don't like any of these games.
What?
I am
That's it.
not.
Show's
I
over.
am not a fan of this style of game.
Yet you're willing to consider purchasing a freaking Vindicators.
No, I wasn't. I just asked you how long you felt about it.
Did you
So
feel
Sarah-
vindicated?
Sarah
Get it?
may hate
Next
me,
week's
but
question is burn, burn, or burn. Vindicators.
Sarah's gonna like break into your house and like put things inside you like knives.
Put a bag over your head while you're sleeping. Yeah.
like Outrun pedal assemblies and
Yeah.
so yeah, I am probably I think I'm going to be the same as Seabart. I don't know if it's a Canadian thing. I am picking Outrun that I'm going to keep. I have never had the chance to own an Outrun. I've never seen an Outrun for sale near me, and I've never been offered an Outrun. So, I do not enjoy the newer, like the '90s racing games, like the I don't know. Fuck about the
Yeah, name one.
Yeah. You know the game. You know the green machine
Yeah.
ones.
Like the Daytona
Oh,
and all
Rush the
those.
Rock?
Like those. Oh, Rush
Yeah,
the
Rush
Rock.
the Rock and stuff.
Cruising Exotica. And all
Yeah,
that.
you know, because I'd rather just play it on my
Cruising's-
PC
yeah.
or my
I
console.
want to play Cruising Erotica. Do they have one of those?
Yeah.
You go
Uh,
cruising around for
Lubes
hookers.
are passing you up.
Yeah.
So as far as old school games, I'm definitely about pole position.
Vibrates.
And
Car.
as Adam recently found out in an email to him, I can't
It's a
wait for
very
Adam
special stick shift.
boards to come out.
Poor Brad.
Sorry, Brad.
It's okay.
You just-
You gotta keep talking. I'll just keep going.
We just want more pornographic games. That's all.
Yeah, exactly. We're just going to talk about that until we're tired of talking about that.
Well, that guy comes on. We're totally talking about erotic photo hunt because he worked on photo hunt. Yeah.
Oh yeah, no.
All right, Orange Whip. Sorry.
Yeah, okay, yeah,
So-
okay. This is me muting.
So as far as classic, like to me, a classic racing game, there is really only two, and it's pole position and Outrun. That's the only two I really consider. So, of course, pole position is the best, and I will go. Oh God, never mind.
How dare you not
Super
mention
hang on.
Super
I have a
Sprint.
super hang on as well, but we'll go Outrun.
Waiting.
Now, second, which one I'm going to burn and sell? You know what? I have never, other than that one time at Fun Spot, I've never seen a Space Harrier in an arcade. Never played it. I could give a rat's ass about it, so I'm lighting that sucker up.
There you go.
Afterburner, I do remember a lot. I remember it at Chuck E. Cheese when I walked in there. I remember seeing that full motion cockpit one, so I have more respect for the Afterburner. And that full motion cockpit for the Afterburner is crazy how it goes and how much you actually like move up and down and stuff. So if I had the space, I'd keep a full motion Afterburner, but of course nobody has a space for one of those. So I would sell that one.
You know, we behaved ourselves really well while you were talking about the up and down motion.
There you go.
So somewhere I thought I read or saw something about Space Harrier that, you know, it's like an acid trip almost. You know, it's all the weird, bizarre stuff.
Oh, especially when you get to the higher levels, we get checkerboard above and below you.
Supposed to be something else originally, though. I thought, Mock, maybe you know, and that you know, it went to the design board or whatever, and they're like, you know, we need to make something different and exciting.
Oh,
and so the designers are like, okay, here you go.
There you go. This is crazy
stuff, you know.
You're a man who floats around, doesn't even have a jetpack on, but he can fly around and shoot. Right?
Maybe that's what it was. It was something like that. It was like it wasn't supposed to be a man. It was supposed to be a ship originally or something.
Maybe a ship. And when you bring him to the ground, he actually runs. And when he's in the air, he's just kind of flying.
Right.
It's pretty weird. But you can't control the speed of it or anything. That's the thing. What's kind of cooler in Afterburner is that you can control your speed. You got an Afterburner button. You got rockets and shooting. You know, they kind of like changed up some cool stuff that you can do in there. But I don't know. I just like Space Harrier just because it's weird, like you said. You know, there's some really trippy levels in that game.
So Sarah says Space Harrier is supposed to be a flight simulator like Afterburner, but they couldn't do it because there wasn't enough RAM in the game to make a plane animate. Interesting.
So they just threw a bunch of weird shit in there, like dragons and
right. Mm-hmm. It's weird how they like
hand this overseas and have them add some stuff in there. What should we add to
this? It's like a boss level too, right? In it.
Oh yeah, there's bosses.
Stuff gathers, and you have to just like keep attacking and try to clear it.
There's dragons and bonus levels where you ride on kitty cats. There is, and
is there?
You got to knock out the trees for the bonus points.
Is there like crossover, like characters that are in other games in that one too? Maybe.
Yeah, the Fantasy Zone is a tip of the hat to the game Fantasy Zone that was on it was Sega. It's a Sega franchise.
Okay.
So that's about the only thing I know of.
So someone else mentioned earlier, like no one mentioned Enduro Racer. We did actually mention Enduro Racer earlier. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I don't. It's been so long since I played any of those, to be honest. I don't. The handlebars kind of vibrate in that game, don't they? On the Enduro Racer, I want to say.
Yeah, I think they do, because when you run over those whoops or whatever, the whole handlebar something vibrates.
Right? Handlebars,
force feedback or whatever.
Mm-hmm. And you get air when you really yank on that thing too. Yeah. So it's pretty fun.
So it's kind of like a first-person Excite Bike.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
that's a good.
Or like a super hang-on game, but a little different.
Motocross,
like a BMX game with a motor.
Yeah.
Now there's a game called Moto Frenzy. I don't know what year that must have been 90s. The early 90s that came out. Godfather's Pizza had one, and it was like a side by side, like two players. It's like the deluxe version of Super Hang-On, where you're on like a motorbike. And the coolest thing about it is it's a dirt bike racing game, but you shoot fireballs. They can knock the other players, temporarily off the track. It was fun as hell. Me and my friends would play it all the effing time. Like if I came across one, if I had the space, I'd be tempted to pick it up. But I don't think I've ever come across one.
What was it called?
Moto Frenzy, I believe.
Moto Frenzy.
I think it's on Clav. It should be. Unless I got the name wrong, but I'm pretty sure that's what
that sounds familiar.
Hey, Jim, you got to pull a soundbite for your soundboard from You Shit on My House!
All right. I'll get rid of it.
Cactus posted a link to it in the chat.
Oh, okay. So it's made by Atari 92.
I posted the link.
Oh, sorry, Dave posted it. Yeah, I'm sorry.
Oh my God, it's Gleek! Yay!
We made it.
Fucking Orange Whip is threatening me now. What is this shit?
It's just like Clav. It's the only way to get you to come out into the open.
Whatever works.
Yeah, exactly.
Fucking trolling me. Can I just be on IRC, please?
You gotta make an appearance once in a while.
Right.
That I do.
And then you only show up when I leave to have my dinner.
Yeah. He thought it was safe. He was going to leave as soon as you came back.
Hey, remember last show I joined? It was like the last minute. You guys were shutting down. And I'm like, hey
That was
guys.
hilarious.
You fucking
Yeah.
Hey, I'm here. Oh, the show's over.
Yeah, I'm guessing he didn't think it was as hilarious as you thought
No,
it
it
was.
was good. I got off the hook.
All right, Gleek, are you gonna make it to Grinkfest this year?
I got 2 vacations. One of them is I'm going to Denver. So there's no Nat, obviously. And the other one would be in Utah for Grinkers. That was my other second request. So,
Utah for Drinkers?
Well,
isn't that where it's at?
No, Idaho.
Idaho, but
Okay.
there's a lot of Mormons in both.
Yeah, right.
I think I'm going to land in Salt Lake City. Isn't that close by or something?
Oh,
hours.
yeah. I mean,
no,
most people
I was-
fly to Boise, I think, but you
Yeah,
can.
Boise, Idaho.
Oh,
3 years ago, I was stuck in
So
Salt Lake for the whole day for like 8-9 hours, and finally someone says you could have driven for it's like 4 hours. I'm like, what?
Oh,
But I mean, it worked out. But I was there the whole day from 11
Gleek's
a.m. to
gonna
8
have a
p.m.
connecting flight in like Mexico or something. It's gonna make no sense at all. Man,
not
it took
trying
me
to top-
14 hours to get here.
not
How'd you
trying to
guys
top,
get here so quick?
Carrie's Flight Adventures.
Oh, I know, right? Yeah, that would,
yeah.
She
that
set
would
the bar.
totally be me. Jesus.
Hey guys, I'm in Mexico. What?
That's the quickest I can get there. Yeah.
You guys didn't know I was Mexican? I got deported.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Grinkers, that's October something, right?
Yeah.
Mhm.
11th through 13th.
Yes. Woo. I wonder,
Yep, I actually
could there be a
fucking
thread
wrote it
up
down.
on
There might be a new thread on it.
There might be a thread
on
club.
Yogi
Huh?
that was
I don't,
posted.
I don't use Google Calendar. I use paper calendar.
Nice.
There you go. Nice.
Nobody's hacking your shit.
Exactly.
Right.
Yeah. So next week in Michigan, there's pinball at the zoo. We'll see if I'll attend that.
Cool.
Some kind of
Well-
thing we have here. But the big one was was it called MGC, the Midwest Gaming Convention?
Yeah.
So a lot
You know,
of
it's
my-
funny that
Is that-
always lands in the wrong time of
Oh, that's
April.
right by you, Jim. Right?
It is. I've never been able to make one because
Really?
it always conflicts with something I've got going on
Oh,
every year.
man.
That's crazy.
So how far is that from you, Mike?
Probably 5 minutes.
Oh wow. Well,
Wait,
then
how far is what?
where the in the
Oh,
MG.
sorry.
West
I
Gaming
was
Classic
making fun
is
of
what it's
Jim.
Oh.
5 minutes.
It's
For me,
in.
it's about a 10-hour drive.
Yeah.
Oh, so that's not close.
Yeah. Yep. Sorry,
Is it
I
in?
jumped ahead there.
Because I'm like, well, we just need to crash Michigan. We need to maybe do some sort of co-located thing. And since you won't come
Yeah.
to us, we'll come to you.
No, you don't have to. Michigan's kind of boring for an arcade state. Where all the fun's at, believe it or not.
Gary, we
is
could probably get an
Ohio.
Airbnb there for like $5 a night.
Yeah, probably.
You could buy a building for fucking $5.
$5, yeah.
You could while you're here, you could buy a house for like $1. You know.
Yeah.
No, but Chicago. I'm not Chicago. Ohio, the 3 C's, Columbus, Cincinnati, and Cleveland all have like arcade, 16-bit arcade bars and things like that. So Detroit doesn't really have much. We have Off-World Arcade, which is in Detroit. Ready Player One. We have Brighton's Arcade. The famous Marvelous Marvin's Mechanical Museum. I don't know if you guys heard of that.
Yes.
So that's a weird one. It's not really arcade games. It's like old school, like that Zoltar game.
It's like the one in San Francisco down on the
Yeah.
pier there.
Yeah, we-
Mechanique.
Yep. Exactly. Yeah, that's a lot of fun. Oh,
Uh-oh.
echo.
Somebody's got echo.
Am I frozen?
Nope.
I think the echo's gone.
Hmm.
Excellent. I hate listening to myself. I'm like, oh my god, my voice sounds like that. Ah.
Isn't that weird how it sounds different?
Oh yeah, it sounds awful. I still, in my mind, my Christmas video, the singing one. I was like, oh
Yeah.
no, it sounds so much
Yeah.
better than it does. Actually listening to it on.
You're lucky you don't have to listen to it every week when you edit these things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And of course, I'm editing it, and whose voice is always at the very beginning of it.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, that's true. Oh, yeah, these shows. Yes.
Yep.
I think my browser crashed. I'm gonna crash soon. Hold on. I have to reboot something.
Oh, I'm back, so Gleek's gonna leave.
Yeah. So, Adam, anything new going on with you?
We miss you, buddy.
I
Yeah,
saw you
just
post
work.
something about 6-player X-Men something.
Yeah, I was when I was waiting for Clay to get the hardware to me, I needed something else to keep me busy, so I was working on actually Griffin and I got together and kind of came up with this idea to do a different version of the coin up for the Konami games that don't actually have like a player, 1 or 2 player start button or whatever.
Okay.
And the idea is basically it'll use any button, like the attack button, for example. And when you tap that, then it starts the game, and it monitors the attack button. So as long as you're playing the game and you're whacking away, it knows you're in gameplay, and it won't continue to put in any credits. But you can customize it. You can set basically a time. Say, right, if the guy doesn't hit the attack button for say 30 seconds or 40 seconds or whatever, then the assumption is he's done playing and he's moved on, and then it goes back into the original state where it's waiting for you to push the button, and then it coins up the game.
Oh, wow. That's cool.
So I was going to do like a 4-player version, and then I realized, well, I have a 6-player X-Men upstairs. That's always been a pain having to coin that guy up, and the hardware would be identical. So I
the 6-man X player has 6 coin slots, right?
Exactly,
and
right.
Each coin slot only works with each player.
Exactly. Yeah. So this basically monitors all the action buttons and all the coin switches. So if you go up and press a particular character, it'll coin up just that character. But every single one is completely independent, so you can jump in on a game if somebody's already playing a game and that whole deal. So it's actually working out pretty well. I hadn't had time to really work on it too much, because no sooner did I kind of get the boards made up and everything going, then Clay sent me the boards for pole position. So all right, screw that, and I just wanted to focus on pole position. So
priorities.
Yeah, exactly.
You only have like 500 people waiting.
Right, I know.
I don't understand. We are waiting. Yeah. What's going on with this pole position boards? I don't understand. What is this?
What's that?
Would you like to explain to our new audience members?
Or how about if you want to pimp it out, go for it.
Yeah.
The pole position talk board? About it. For people who don't know it, you think people watching this show don't know about that board?
Right.
Plenty of them.
You'll be surprised.
Yeah.
There's some people that come to this show just for weather.
Like Electric Dreams.
Some people don't know who the fuck I am. I got something for you.
Oh, I thought he was gonna pull his pants. Remember this? Let me go straight a poster. I'll be right back.
No, I bought this on fucking eBay. It's so funny. I had to get it.
Nice.
What an illegal
What?
Is it clinking when you spit between the space in your teeth?
Who wants an orange whip?
What's in between my teeth?
Orange whip? 3 orange whips.
You need a license plate, Brad. That has.
I don't even need to be on here. Jimbo could have my picture as the official host and just keep saying that phrase over and over.
No, I'll just put up my my little lower third that I had.
Buffett.
That was awesome.
So, Adam, I have a curious question, kind of related to what you're talking about. So, I had a game that I sold recently that actually Steve from Grinkers was interested in it, but his concern was because of how the coin ups work. The game was it's a 4-player game, and there's player start buttons on each of the 4 players.
Right.
But the actual coin mech only has 2 slots, and I believe the way it works is you drop a quarter in either slot, and whoever presses player start is the first person to coin up.
Right.
Isn't that the same with a lot of 2-player games like Contra and Altered Beast, all those kind of games?
It is. I think it's. You guys probably know more than me, but Konami, those Konami games like Simpsons and Turtles and X-Men, those are the only games that I'm aware of. Like I said, you guys probably know more. I'm sure there's other people out there that know more, but those are the only games that come to mind when I think about it, where the actual coin mech determines the character that you're playing.
Right.
As soon as I put in, whatever, Cyclops, the game yells at me, Cyclops. I mean, that's it. You can't put in a quarter in there and then decide you want to play.
I think like even on my Super Sprint, you can coin up on any one of the 3 slots, and it's like whoever presses start first gets to go.
Yes.
I wonder if there was a way to kind of do almost like the opposite. Is it sort of the opposite of what you're talking about? Which would be be able to. You couldn't though, because you drop it in a slot, and it's just gonna. You can't say like, okay, this quarter drop's gonna go to only to player 4.
Yeah, my plan was to kind of have I don't know what mode I was going to call it, classic mode or some other mode, but essentially there are games like that that actually have multiple, even if they have player buttons like player 1, player 2, whatever. But I wanted to make this version a little bit different in that it allows you to jump in on a game. That was the other complaint I got, was that the current coin-up only supports 1 or 2 players, and it's really geared for the classic games like Pac-Man and Donkey Kong, where if you wanted to play 2 players, that's how you started the game. You press, put 2 quarters in, you press player 2, and then it alternates between player 1 and player 2. But what about a game where like Double Dragon, where the guy's already in mid-game and he's like, hey, you want to get in on this, that kind of thing. And so that's the other mode that I want to add to this, is that if it has 4 player start buttons, it allows you to jump in on a game, and it doesn't matter really what quarter or coin mech you use, because it has the player start buttons to indicate what player you're actually going to be playing.
Is this a replacement for the original, or is this an additional one?
It's an additional one. Okay. It'll be for anywhere between 4 to 6 players. I mean, that's kind of how I see it being used. But I do think that there probably is some merit to taking the existing coin-up that I have and just changing the firmware to allow people to have that kind of playability for like Double Dragon, like I said, because that's a 2-player game. The existing coin-up works fine, but it doesn't provide people to be able to jump in on a game. You kind of have to say, okay, I'm going to start a 2-player game, and you go off from there. So that's the plan. I mean, like I said, I had a little bit of time this weekend to kind of play with it, and it's pretty much almost there. I just need to decide what I want to do with the dip switches, what kind of features I want to have on those. And actually, Clay is looking to get a version of it to test, because they got a 6-player X-Men over at Ground Control, and then they're really anxious to kind of try it out and see how it works over there.
Maybe I'm wrong, but I think they do free play nights there. Ground Control.
They do. Yeah.
So it's like he needs to have that option to flip between coins and free play. So,
yeah. And the existing coin-up has that option too. There's one of the dips either enables or disables. So you have parties over or whatever, and you want to put everything on free play, you can do that. But if you prefer to have tokens or whatever, and you can turn that off. So.
Would that sort of thing work with all? I mean, I came in late to this conversation. I had to step away. Does that work? Is this going to work with like all the like 4-player Konami stuff then?
Exactly. That was the primary goal. Griffin pinged me. I forget if I think it was through Klob or whatever, and we were chatting about getting some kind of thing going for that. And the other thing that we were talking about too is that I want to.
Unfortunately, you didn't provide it in 1 week, and he sold the game.
Right, probably.
You didn't provide it fast enough.
He hasn't even sold the game.
Nice.
He is no longer in this hobby.
Sorry, buddy. Love you.
4, 3, 2, 1. He's not gonna watch this show.
He's no longer in his hobby.
Or he was in the chat.
He has no games.
Fake Griffin in the chat.
Oh, really?
Yeah, we get a lot of fakies.
Oh,
yeah.
Griffin
started with all the fake boobs. Yeah.
He's done.
The other thing that was bothering me was that I got X-Men. I was all excited, and I just added 1 million credits and beat the game, and it was just like it killed all the nostalgia for me.
Oh,
so
yeah, you can't
what I would like to do is go ahead and press the attack button, but you can decide, okay, only give me n number of credits. That's all I have to work with.
That's what I used to do all the time with Turtles. I would just see, okay, how far can I get on 4 credits?
Exactly.
Yeah, limit yourself.
Right.
I do that.
And then, then it kind of comes back. It's like, holy shit, I made it.
My last one.
Yeah.
So I figure a few of the dips will be for that. Decide how many credits do you want, and then the other dips will be like how long do I need to be sitting idle before this thing resets itself.
I'll definitely be doing a review of that when you're done with it on my channel, because I get billions of views.
Yeah.
But actually, your your regular coin ups, that video actually got a fair amount of views.
Well, you know why? Because I think I have it on my webpage as.
Oh, do you? Oh, nice. Well, in that case, I'm totally doing.
You did such a good job. I'm like, I'm just going to use his video to promote it.
That was tough to shoot because that thing is so fucking small, and I'm trying to zoom way in, with like these long telephoto lenses, and like the depth of field is like, the size of a paper clip, but no, it was fun. I was gonna do there was another one I was gonna do. So Paradise Arcade sells these leaf switches that snap into micro switch housings.
Oh, that's right.
So you can take any micro switch button and throw a leaf switch into it. It's fucking it's really nice. It's really awesome. I have them in Toki. And so I was going to do one like that, or a review for that. They're like $1.90 or something. They're pretty cheap. So, anyways, that was my bit. But yeah, that totally sounds good, because I've got Simpsons and Turtles that that would totally be perfect, because that always bugged me. It's like you just have the player buttons. You don't actually have a start button.
Right.
So,
yeah. So my son would have his friends over, and they would just bounce from game to game. Hit, everyone's got a coin up in it. It's fine. And they get to X-Men. He's got to stop what he's doing. He's got to go over there. Who do you want to play? Coin it up for them, and then whatever. And it just ends up being a pain.
Yeah, it's a showstopper.
Yeah, that sounds like it would be. Dad, I need more credits. Get over here. It's like,
exactly.
Although after you're done with your pole position board, then you need to work on a coin up version for pole position.
Oh, that'll be in it. That'll be in it.
Oh, it will be in it.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
I was right.
So I'm adding hardware that actually monitors. I've kind of reverse engineered the entire pole position game ROMs, and documented whatever for myself so I could work on it. But I can tell when the game is in its track mode or when you're actually in gameplay. And so the idea is that if you're in a track mode and the guy hits the pedal, then it just coins up the game and you're off and running. And then it just works as normal. And then, once you're done with the high score and it goes back to normal, then you can, coin it up. Or I think if you hold down the pedal, it'll go back to the main menu and you can choose which game you want to play, what version of pole position. So.
Oh, yeah, that'll be awesome. That was the stupidest free play that they built in that.
And the funny thing is that look at what year that game came out. That was what, like 80, 81? Or it was early. It was Super Hang On, 86, 87. And that has the same stupid shit when it's on free play. It just sits on the map.
Yeah.
Oh well, but does it start a game?
No, but
it starts a game, right?
Yeah, because that's what pole position starts the game.
Yeah.
So you don't even just sit on the map.
It does. It just keeps
going.
Oh,
yeah.
That's horrible.
So then it.
But it doesn't press the gas pedal.
Actually, you know why it does that? I figured out why it does that is because pole position actually the hardware was designed to have a start button, but it's shorted so that it's always activated. Because when I actually brought it up for the first time in this hardware and I coined it up, it said press start button. I was like, what? And I went through the ROM code and I was like, sure enough, yeah, it's waiting for a start button. I looked at the schematics, it was shorted to the ground. So they I don't know if they ever decided to have one originally, or if they just pulled it from the prototype or whatever.
But we can save $3 on this machine.
Yeah, exactly.
Right? Yeah, because that's fascinating. Yeah, because it makes no sense, because essentially you have to wait for a game to end before you start a new game, because you have to wait for it to, you can like, okay, I'll jump in, I'll play for a little while, but that's what. So like when I have, because at Halloween when I open up my arcade, I don't want to put quarters out for the little trick-or-treater monsters to be like, look, free money. Yeah, exactly. I'm out of here. So I just keep it on free play, and then I stand near the game so I can explain, like, oh, you can go ahead and finish up this game, and then it will start a new one that you can actually play the whole thing. It's just so dumb. That's fascinating. That's why. Yeah, they wanted to save $3.
The other thing I learned too was that pole position was originally designed to have an analog brake. And so you can actually, if you look at the gas pedal on pole position, it's basically a pot, a variable resistor. And if you had the same thing for the brake, you could have fine, brake control, which nobody ever uses, right? I don't even think people even, exactly. But the cockpit version just has a switch, so it's either all on, all brake, or no brake. But if you actually had a pot in there, the same kind that you have in the gas, and you go to the test screen, flip the switch so you can actually see the digital value, and as you press the brake, you'll actually see the value change rather than just be it fully on or fully off.
Just like Super Hang On. Huh. Sweet.
Yeah.
Interesting.
And I rarely use the brake in that game.
I don't think anybody uses brake in pole position.
Super Hang On, you're supposed to apparently, but I don't. No.
Well, I saw on Clav that there was somebody was asking about how fast you're supposed, what is your maximum miles per hour? Because they were thinking, hey, I don't think my game goes. There's a problem because I only can get up to X number of miles per hour, kilometers.
Right.
219.
Do you have an answer? Is there an answer?
It depends on the precision of the pot that's in the pedal itself. And so in the manual, they kind of give you an acceptable range, but there really is no reason why you can't completely max it out. And that's something that I want to experiment with, because I'm just curious to see if I give users that feature. Obviously, they should be able to drive faster. So it'd be interesting to see what kind of scores that they can get if you just give them the absolute maximum speed that they could possibly get.
Mm-hmm.
So, but there is, you are able to go faster than the hardware will allow you to go faster than what you currently can. I think if you press the pedal, it goes up to A something or whatever, but you should be able to go to FF, which is
fucking fast.
Heck, exactly.
I remember Kaylin.
Is that called the Billy Mitchell mod?
That's right.
Nice. Now, Adam, if you if Nazarene never finishes this multi Nintendo Versus. Because I was tempted to try coin ups in there, then I realized, well, that'll never work because there's 4 player start buttons.
Yeah.
Although, granted, how often? I mean, there's very few games that you're using the 3-player and the 4-player start button.
Right.
Yeah. Hey, can you turn your fan off?
Can you hear that?
Yeah. Look at that.
Nice Ion Evo you got in the background there.
Yeah. Finally got one. It is worth it, Jim. They're so much damn fun.
Oh, dude, I play it every day. I literally play it every day before I go to the gym. I play it for half an hour before I hit the gym.
Yeah, it has a 2008.5 software in it.
Too bad we didn't have an expert that would want to come on and talk.
I was going to say, Jim, do you want to make your little announcement, like an early announcement?
That's a good statement. That's
teaser.
Good
segue.
Yeah.
So, Gleek, I don't know if you saw Slack today.
I got fans ordered for it, so it's more quiet.
Yeah, you can. Well, what motherboard do you got in there?
The purple shit one.
Oh, the ECS.
Yep.
Swap that shit out. Get the Intel board.
Okay, the Intel or the Asus?
No, don't get the Asus. Get the Intel. It's an ITX board. I can post in the chat the model of it. They're on eBay all the time. You can probably get one for $50.
Intel D945 GCLF. Sound familiar?
2. Yep, DCLF 2.
Okay.
It's great board. I've got them in both of mine. And
does the 2 matter at the end of it?
Well, it's a later revision, so and that's probably going to be the one that you're going to find.
Right.
You just
they're nice
sidetracked Jim here.
Watch Jim's videos.
Take this offline.
Do a search for Dinky Flicks on YouTube.
Yeah.
So Jim, talk about your you had someone comment on your YouTube channel.
Yeah. So Gleek, I don't know if you saw Slack today, but this is the second time this has happened. I can't remember what the game was, but I posted a while back a bunch of gameplay videos of probably like 30 different games, and that was when I was running my Force Mega Touch Radeon, which Andrew now has. But anyways, I this is the second time this happened. Someone comments on there and like, hey, I designed this game. I'm like, what? That's awesome. And so I get this message. Actually, let me read it. It was kind of funny. Let's see here.
Cool.
It's from this guy. I think his name is Chris Walsh. Let me just pull it up here. Description. Oh, here we go.
Ding dong.
Okay, so this guy Chris Walsh replies. He's like, "Hi, so the game that he responded to is called Box Drop. It's like a strategy puzzle game where you're trying to make basically 21s with these boxes. It's an addictive game, but He's like, hi, I was randomly searching for Box Drop and found this video. I actually made this game and designed most of the Mega Touch games from 1998 to 2006. This is great to see. Thanks. And I'm like, whoa, that's awesome. I love this game and most of the entire library of games. And I was basically like, I'd enjoy hearing more about what you did and blah. And then I said that we have a weekly video podcast we do and where we talk about arcade stuff and whatnot. And then he responds, he's like, I would totally be down with that. I worked with with Merit for so long and made a ton of games. And so I said, I'll send you a message. And I basically just asked for his email so I could send him the details of the show. And he said, sounds like a plan. I haven't heard back from him, but it sounds like he's totally on board. But he's got a website and he made a ton of games. I'll post a link to it. I think I posted in Slack. Let me find it.
How long ago was that?
This was today.
Oh,
today
shit.
he sent that. Yeah, so he's got a website and he's even got on one of his pages it talks about how that game Box Drop, and it's a breakdown of how he designed it. With still like screenshots and stuff. It's pretty badass. But I would love to pick his brain.
Yeah,
if he came
Chris,
on, it'd be like
chriswalsh.myportfolio.com.
Yep, I posted it. I'll post it in the IRC.
I posted in the IRC.
Oh, did you? Okay, thanks.
Oh, quick.
So that'd be fucking awesome. I'd probably have like a gazillion questions for him. But
Box Drop like a newer game? I don't think that's in 2008.
Well, it was on Force, but that was 2011 I was running. So it may have, he said he designed to 2006, so it should be on there.
Yeah, I haven't played it all the way yet. Okay.
But you got to upgrade yours to 2014.
I know. That's the latest one, right? That was
the last one they made. Yep.
Great.
And there's a big difference between your software and 14.
Oh, but you have to upgrade the RAM, the CPU, all kinds of stuff, right?
No, you don't. It's depending on how much memory you have, you need at minimum 512, which
that's
old
nothing.
memory, like that's nothing. And then and then you just need what you need is the software you can find online. What you need is the key, the security key.
Yeah, I got
but but Gleek, you can if you want, you can.
He's got a game that's kind of like Tapper.
What? Tapper?
Gleek, send me a PM on Clav or whatever, because I could probably help you out with.
Yeah, we'll take it off air then. I can do that. Cool. I've been watching Brian Brzezicki. He's hacking Mega Touches, like rooting them and shelling them and all that.
Yeah, he did the 2011, I think, Force.
Oh, I thought you just posted that.
Anyways, so but yeah,
put them on the show at the same time and they can fight.
Battle.
Well, I don't know if Chris, if this, because this guy designed a lot of the games, I don't know if he actually worked with the, like the actual coding and the hardware and all that sort of thing. But again, that'd be a good question. But that'd be awesome to have him on here. Yeah, and I was the fight. It would be. I gave him like the whole. I drafted up an email to send him, and in there I'm talking about like how our show works, how as guests you should get on here early, and and how it gets off the rails.
Although usually the person who makes it go off the rails will be the one with the sound bar. The one that's going to be talking all the questions.
Hey, I'm not omitting myself in this.
He gets like 45 minutes into explaining all this in-depth detail, and you start going, boring.
I
forget that he's my guest. Oh shit!
Yeah.
But one of the games that he did was Photo Hunt, and I was kidding Carrie. I'm like, oh my god, we're gonna have to ask him about the errata games.
Yeah.
Yeah, why not? Ask him about all that stuff.
Yeah. Like, where did those images come from, and who
God.
selected them? Yeah.
Yeah.
The one on his page is like of a nursing home. These people doing jazzercise or something from their chairs.
But so that's my teaser. There, it sounds like he's on board. I'm just waiting to hear back from him so I can give him the details. So maybe in the next couple weeks or so, we'll have one of the main Mega Touch game
That would be
designers.
cool.
Let us know ahead of time.
Yeah, as soon as I get
I hate
word.
to miss that one.
Yeah, absolutely.
We're sort of like a real show.
I'm sure he would talk like all kinds of crazy code stuff.
Yeah.
Right.
First helicopter Jesus, and now this.
We can't lose.
And yet, there's more.
But wait. Yeah. So that's cool. I mean, that's one of those moments where it's like the internet is such a cool thing.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah, because back then, I mean, we idolized all these coders and developers for a lot of these games. There was no way to reach them,
Mm-hmm.
So,
Until I met
David
Crane.
there's another reason, a good reason to post gameplay videos of stuff that you like. You never know if a designer is like, "Oh, I was looking for one of these games I worked on, and I found your video." Because I can't remember the other one, but this is the second time. It was a different guy before, but it's the second time it's happened. So.
Very good.
Oh, so Gleek, the other thing about that motherboard is that since it runs quieter, you don't need as many fans in there. So you can really knock down
4 fans in there.
Yeah, you can really cut it down. Plus, you can also get just quieter fans. But with that, because you're going from a micro ATX board to an ITX, so there's a lot more space then too. And put a solid state drive in there too, because that'll.
Yeah, it's a lot of work to do. I mean, the first part is getting the thing, and it works. That's cool. The next part is upgrading everything.
Yeah, and I mean, you open that thing up, and everything's so jam packed in there. I mean, especially the I/O board at the front that everything like interfaces with. Yeah. There's so many fucking little plugs and shit going in there. But once you mess with it a little bit, it's like, oh, this isn't that bad.
Yeah. I tried connecting the little wireless thing to my local internet. It didn't do anything.
Well, it's not going to because their servers are no longer online.
I was trying to connect to the Merit net or something like that.
What you can do, what still works, is setting up a local network if you have more than one Megatouch. So like I have 2, and they'll connect with each other, and you can do head-to-head games. So like I had people over, and we were playing. Right across from each other, you can play like poker and stuff like that. It's cool.
Let's try not to make these too popular until some of us can get one. I used to have one of the old ones, but the CRT ones that were 5,000 pounds. But I like to get a newer one too.
Oh, by the way, the new ones are not much lighter.
Probably not. They're made to be heavy so people couldn't steal them, right?
Exactly. I used to think before I owned one, that they were bolted down on bar countertops, and then I lifted one like the one that Gleek has. That's the traditional Evo. And that thing is literally 80 pounds.
Yeah, they're like 80 pounds.
Oh my god!
Heavy.
Yep.
So poor Steve from Albany said on the YouTube chat, Steve Wallard, he's like, I post a lot of gameplay videos. I get a lot of "you suck" messages.
Well, he said no. That was an if.
Oh, if. Oh, I missed that part. Oops.
Prove it, Steve.
Steve, my favorite video of yours was the Joe beer vacuum, the shop or the steam cleaner vacuum, the beer.
It tastes a little bit like butt mixed with lint or whatever.
That was great. I need to rewatch that one.
Yeah, I'm wondering. Carrie is wondering if that same guy designed erotic photo hunt.
She's not here.
Sarah Lee?
She said it
that's what I'm wondering too. Being that he did the regular photo hunt, I would imagine. I mean, because there's not a whole lot of difference. Although the one that we play, that Carrie makes all the jokes about, the nasty labias, is that's the penthouse one. So it's a newer one. So it might have been after 2000. That might have been post 2006. But who knows? There's older erotic photo hunts that are really bad too.
You need to get Carrie one so she can have the erotic photo hunts out for Halloween.
Yeah, you guys
that'll be a big hit with the kids.
Oh my god!
Kids, yeah,
you guys should put it on.
No, she should leave it out for the teenagers, but keep it on payment. So like they have to pay for it. Keep the dollar bill validator going
like that online.
Right? Yeah, exactly.
God,
Yeah,
we're
but
just aging ourselves right here.
yeah, but for think about it, you're like a 15, 16-year-old dude, and this is the closest thing to watching porn with a chick. And hey, she's enjoying it.
We need to ask the developer if he did those ones, where in the hex code we can insert a different photo of like a 1970s chick.
Big old
where you got the photos from? Were they Playboy pictures or what?
Well,
they're
are penthouse.
They're grainy. Yeah. They look like Commodore 64 bitmaps.
Yeah.
Also, the older photo hunt games, the resolution is 640 by 480.
Oh,
wow. Yeah. So the latest so when you got to the Ion platform, like what you've got, Gleek, that hardware, they had 3 resolutions for games. They had to support the old ones was 640 by 480. The like the Force hardware that they called higher res, that was 800 by 600, and then Ion did 1024 by 768.
Oh, the whole thing looks great. It's just those pictures itself look horrible.
Yes, yeah, they're totally low res. Yeah.
I have a question for Adam, since we never get to talk to him anymore.
Sure, what's up?
Did you finally fix up your Akari Warriors?
No, it's actually still sitting right here.
Oh,
I know. I just haven't had time to really do any kind of work on the games that I already own.
And you haven't bought any new games since?
I bought a dual system a couple months ago.
That's right. I remember that.
But aside from that, and I'm not actively. That's the other thing. I'm not actively looking for any games, but so many people, friends of mine and whatnot, know that I collect these games. So when they find a deal, they end up calling me or letting me know, and then I have to go get the damn thing. So I picked up a Fire pinball, Williams Fire.
That's fun. I like that game.
I wasn't looking for a pinball at all. He asked me for advice on a game. He was getting a Lethal Enforcers, like home use only, real cherry one for $200.
Wow.
So I said, yeah, grab it. And then he sent me this, or actually he asked me, he said, are you interested in pinball? And I'm like, no, I'm not interested at all. And he sent me a picture of it, and it said $500. I was like, oh, now I gotta go get
That's
this.
That's a good price for that pin, actually.
So I figured I'll definitely get my money out of it. So
Fire's the one that sounds like the Fender sounds, right?
Fire is it's like the old I don't know, like the old city fire trucks going through, and it's got the bell on top and everything, and you're putting out fires. It's actually got a cool little translucent thing in the middle.
A ramp.
Gleek, look to your right real quick. Look to your right side.
What's he doing?
I'm trying to do a picture. Look to your right side, Gleek.
Do a profile?
No, the other direction. There we go. Thank you. You'll see it on Untapped here in a minute.
Oh, God.
Oh, goody.
I have a hunch.
Sorry, Adam, for that interruption.
Yeah, well,
that's all right. No, it's got a semi-transparent section of the playfield, and underneath it's got what do you call it? Just like a piece of plastic that an artist drew a fire on, and it rotates. It's lit up and it rotates. So from the playfield perspective, it looks like the fire is kind of rippling or growing, and it looks pretty cool.
And then you got it. There's a ramp that looks like a ladder that lifts up, and you launch the ball up the
into
ladder
the house. I think
into the house to like save the people or whatever.
Right. Yep.
So that's kind of a cool.
It's got two side ramps that go up, and you save the baby over here. You save the baby over there.
Yeah,
it's pretty neat.
I actually like that game. It's like old timey.
That's what it is. Yeah. And the music is all do. I don't know. I can't do it.
but no, it's fun. It's a fun.
Yeah. Wait, try again. Do it again.
You just recorded.
Perfect.
You sample.
Oh, speaking of samples, what did let's see here. Where is it? Here you go, Mock.
You sit on my house.
I love that.
I never saw the movie. What's the context? Did the guy actually
such a bad
on the guy's house, or
did
he talk smack about the guy's house?
Have you okay? So in Can't Buy Me Love, he pays a girl to pretend, a popular girl, to pretend to be his girlfriend for 2 weeks.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so he's trying to get in with the popular crowd. And what they do every year at Halloween is they go and they fill a bag full of poo and they throw it against this kid's house every year. And it turns out to be his old best friend when he was a nerd. It was his friend. So he doesn't want to do it. He tries to tell the popular guys, hey, let's go to a different house. And come on, what are you? Are you still a pussy? He's like, no. So he does it. And then he ends up getting grabbed or whatever. And the friend sees him and saw that he was in on this. So later he's just going back to the arcade to apologize to him. And he's playing Enduro. He's all being rough with it. And, you shit on my house, man. You shit on my... He starts out.
I saw the
video. Yeah,
he's like all teary. He's like, "You shit on my house, man." And
Yeah,
he's like, "I'm sorry, man. You shit on my house."
Slammed him up against the Asteroid Deluxe.
Yeah, throws him against it. It's a pretty intense scene, though. When you first see the movie, you're like, "Whoa, he's pretty mad at him."
Right. That dude's played a nerd in a lot of stuff. The redhead.
Yeah.
Wasn't he in Back to the Future?
He was, yeah.
Speaking of Back to the Future, what was this thing that says "Look before
Graham
you"?
McFly, I'm cutting in. That's what.
That's the guy. Yeah.
Look before you gleek.
Yeah, Gleek. God damn it.
That's cool though.
Gleeking is when you spit between your teeth, isn't it?
I know what it is.
It's gleeting or gleek is and
it's the monkey.
I think. Yeah.
Gleek is the fucking space monkey.
The space monkey from that.
Sloth love junk.
What were the aliens in the Wonder Twins? The Wonder Twin powers.
Thanks, yeah.
Zan and Jaina.
I'm posting those pictures.
That's pretty funny.
Yeah.
So does anybody else have any arcade gets or news?
I do. I have
all right, Gleek, go for it.
All right.
Bought a Mega Touch. I got a Space Duel.
Space Duel. Did you get a good deal on it?
I had to drive across the state to pick up the K6100.
A lot of people burn that up in our question of the week.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've been here every episode, just in IRC.
In spirit.
So.
Hence the reason why I called you out to come on.
I also got something else. You know those Namco Rocking Bowl or something? That looks like a bowling score thing. Rocking Bowl. What am I talking about? It's
That's the one that actually has the lane and it looks like a 1950s.
Yeah,
thing?
That's right. You got that at that auction, right?
Yes, I picked up a second one.
Oh, jeez.
Nice.
I won it at another auction. I'm like, you gotta be fucking kidding me. Those things are huge, man. So I got two of them now.
I would love to have one of those.
You have room for 6 games, but you have like 50.
No, my storage unit is maxed out. I got to upgrade my storage unit. It's getting ridiculous. As you saw in Club, I'm trying to sell some shit. Get rid of some of these games.
You have a Robotron?
you got asteroids?
You got asteroids?
Can't even sit on the toilet some days.
It's so funny that people can predict. I only had to play it. Like I only had to get there. It's like, it's crazy.
I got something else too. I can't remember what it was though. Some game. But carry on. Yeah. Silence.
Well,
yep.
Crickets. Way to kill it, Gleek.
Well,
that's why he's never on. No, I'm just kidding.
Well, I officially signed for our new house today.
Ooh!
I'm very excited about that. And our new house. Yes. In about 3 months, I'm going to be joining Carrie in the soul crushing mortgage group. Yes.
Congratulations.
You're not going to have like 10 pickups a week?
Maybe, you never know, but they won't be going in the game room.
I'm looking forward to all your restore threads.
Yes, restore.
Yeah, so it was called Rockin' Bolorama. I was saying
Rockin' Bolorama. Okay.
That's the name of it.
We should post a picture of what it looks like.
Brad can do that.
Yep. Let me find one.
Dick pic.
And I remembered my other game I got.
Yeah.
All this.
So, Adam, your
like
game room is above your garage, correct?
Yes. Yeah.
Is it a 2-car garage or how big?
2-car garage. Yeah, it's like 24 by probably 24 by 30.
Your game room.
Yes.
Wow. All right. That's damn.
Yeah.
Bow down to you. Yeah. Mine is
But you have more working games than me, so you still win.
Hey, yeah, maybe. We'll see about that one.
Oh yeah, that's sweet.
I've never played one of those.
It's huge.
That's cool.
Big.
So the
I bet
Got cup holders on it.
Oh, I like
It
the
looks-
cup
it looks
holders.
heavy.
And it has ashtrays.
Oh yeah.
It looks heavy. How heavy is that?
about 300 pounds.
It kind of confuses Mock though, because he's looking for like a Star Wars yoke and a Tron joystick,
Spinner.
set. Yeah.
Where's all the illuminated buttons? Yeah.
Hell out of that thing, that's for sure. But yeah, it's kind of like a Mega Touch in a way because it will not work without a security IO card, and those cost like $300-$400. And they
that proprietary shit's where all the money always is.
Retarded, man, because it bounds to the hardware ID or something like that.
You're paying all that money for those Mega Touch security keys, which is basically a battery with one string of code or something on it. Dumb.
And that battery goes dead, and then you're like, what do you do?
Oh, that's why people
guy
are trying to hack it.
Yeah,
that's why
what's his face?
Yeah. Because once those die, you're kind of SOL. You have to buy another one. But the thing is that those batteries have a life expectancy of 10 years or less.
Mm-hmm.
And so they stop making, people that have stuff that's, older than, 2008 or what. Even Gleek is probably, who knows when that's going to die, because they were still making these keys, for older software. So you don't know when yours is going to croak or not, It's
like a suicide battery.
It is and it isn't, because it won't like kill your hardware or anything like that, but you still need to buy a new one. So
until they hack it.
And there's been a couple of that going on.
They're no longer a company, right? So
Yep, they folded.
Too bad they just didn't release the like a key for it or something.
I mean, the thing is that you can download this. The software is available to download. But
did anybody buy them? Do you guys know?
Buy what?
So Merit used to own everything, and then they were sold to AMI, and then AMI went out of business in 2015 or whatever it was.
But if somebody bought them, then they probably sold an IP to it, and that's why they wouldn't want to give it out.
And the weird thing is, you still see Mega Touches in a lot of bars still.
Just last week they had one at one of the pubs I was at, and it was one of the RX models.
You still see a lot of Pac-Mans and Donkey Kongs in arcades. And
God damn it.
Well, the number one thing I always hear is, I can understand why they went under, they folded up, and why people don't, didn't stop playing them because, iPads and stuff. But it's Gleek, now it's not the same.
Yeah.
You don't see like 8 people crowded around an iPad.
Yeah. No, yeah, it's.
I got that game on my phone. And it's like, I'd like to see you and 3 friends with beers in their hands playing this. Yeah.
Before I go to bed, I'll turn it on. Like 4 hours later, it's like, oh shit.
Are you serious?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy.
I got rid of mine because my mother-in-law would come over to play it, and she would not leave my house.
Get out of here!
That's why you say that, Brad, because my mom, when I the Force, the Radeon that Andrew has, 2011 software, when I was working on that one, I was temporarily living at my parents for like a couple weeks, and I'm like, Mom, you love, they have Sudoku on there, and my mom loves that game. I'm like, Mom, you love this. She played like one game. She's like, all right, I'm done. I don't want to get addicted to this thing.
I didn't get a great deal. I didn't get a bad deal. I paid $400 for it, Jim.
Oh, that's a good deal. If it works, shit.
That's good. That's a lot cheaper than I've found them for.
Yeah.
Cool. Good to know. It's dirty and stinky though, like cigarettes inside.
Oh no, the cigarette not free environment.
Yeah.
Well, if you replacing the fans and the board will help a little bit. Yeah.
Baking soda will help the rest, right?
Yeah, that's right.
An ozone machine, if you know somebody with one.
Ozone machine?
A lot of pinball collectors and stuff have ozone machines that
Suck it
It
out.
basically takes out smell out of stuff.
Yeah.
Puts you right to sleep.
We're
Yeah.
a non-smoking house, so you could definitely smell
Carbon
that
monoxide
shit.
machines.
Yeah, that's right.
A big sleep.
CPAP. Put a CPAP on the Megatouch. No, it smells like a bowling alley, the way they used to smell.
Well, it's fitting, I guess.
Yeah, that's what your basement smells like. He's trying to tell you.
Yeah.
Completes the whole motif.
Yeah.
Yar.
Well, anyway, anyone else have arcade
Cricket
related?
sound effects. Cricket.
I was trying to avoid it, but
Yeah, I know. That was only like a second and a half of.
You know who's being really quiet tonight is Dave.
I know. I've been watching him
Yeah.
down there. He's just mesmerized.
and Seabart.
And we haven't heard a single word from Buffett, who still needs to answer our question of the day.
We haven't even heard a single desoldering.
He's eating
sound.
supper.
Yeah.
And he still has Easter thing on there.
Yeah.
Too. Easter boobs.
There you go. I heard Dave laugh.
No, poor guy.
Oh, was that last week where Dave was like? Was it last week or the week before? That was fucking hilarious.
2 weeks ago,
Yeah.
I kept playing some sound or whatever, and
Hey,
it
Dave,
was like Willy Wonka.
how was what's that Fun Spot? Did you go, or is that this weekend?
It's in June.
June, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, June. Oh my
Yeah,
God.
the-
First weekend in June.
Sneak Fest.
That's right.
Oh, I know what started it.
Oh.
Leo Fest.
Yeah, and I have-
we missed Leo
I-
tonight.
I have a
Tell me you're Jewish. Okay, fine.
Yeah, I have a fun idea for a Nat game there, because I know we're doing a regular tournament, as well as Leo had said some a couple of Nat game things. So I have an idea. I'm very excited to.
Yeah, no Leo tonight, no Jerry tonight.
Yeah.
Jerry, you gotta come and see the baby.
If you guys didn't force me in here, you would have Leo.
Oh.
No, because Leo's not even in the
He always
chat.
Or Jerry. Or Jerry.
We don't need to force Leo. He can just sneak right in.
Oh, I see what you did there.
See that?
No, Buffett.
No, Buffett, we can't hear
We've
you.
not been able to hear you.
You can't hear me, huh?
Oh, now we can.
Now we
Yes.
can.
Ding.
That's why I was asking.
Okay.
Do you have a helicopter in the room?
No, I don't. Not yet.
No helicopter Jesus.
Yeah.
God damn, that was a funny week. That show was off the
Glad you
rails really
beat
quick.
back on. That was hilarious.
And I was sober too. That's
The fan was there,
this
but
is literally the first time I've drank on the show in like 2 months.
I'm
Welcome
proud.
back.
Welcome back. to Alcoholic Anonymous.
That's right.
You've been really weak on the sound effects this week, Jim.
Yeah.
Let me
Get the-
Oh, that's the good
talking
one.
too much.
I mean,
Man,
that's-
I picked up a couple games a couple weeks ago.
What'd you pick up? Boonga Boonga?
No. 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 I picked up a Popeye, a Mr. Deuce Castle, and a laser ball.
Oh. Wow.
So
Popeye, one of the most sought after Nintendo games of all time.
I think we almost all burned it, right?
one of the most sought after games of all time.
Yes.
believe it or not, I like that game. So I don't know what to
That is a severe behavioral disorder.
So, and the other one, laser ball is one of them you said that you got?
Yeah, laser ball. It's a pinball
That's a
machine.
laser ball.
Yeah.
Laser ball. I don't know that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm like, that sounds vaguely familiar, so we're all like quickly.
That was a Z laser ball.
No, just
So-
laser ball.
Mr. Dew's Castle, is that what cabinet is that in? Because it's probably
We have
gotta be.
abundance in the castle.
Yeah, they converted it into a Nintendo cab, which is fine with me because it works. You know, it works good.
Right.
That's
So
an
it's
laser ball. That's an older
Oh,
pinball
okay.
table.
Yeah, it's an old Williams wide body.
Williams, yeah.
Yeah, Williams wide body. But
Wide body.
but yeah, the Popeye, the monitor worked, but it was real bad. The Mr. Do did not work, so I pulled both of them out and got them up working. And then the other game I picked up at that same time was a Dig Dug.
Oh, nice.
So yeah,
Is-
I got a good deal on
Is laser ball a pin or a vid?
them. Pinball.
Okay, yeah.
Looks like a
Yeah, Williams wide body.
Gotcha.
I'm surprised I'm skinny.
Oh, he said wide body. Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Speaking of wide bodies, Adam, did you ever get that Versus in your arcade? Did you get it up there? Or?
No, not yet. Not yet. I'm pretty sure it'll go if I put it on its side and send it up the stairs. But I wanted to do a video. I don't know if you saw like the
winch one.
Yeah, I want to see upgrades to that escalator system.
I want to do a nice video where it's like me and myself moving the game up. I don't know if you guys saw the little intro that I did for it. I'll stick it in the chat, but yeah, I was just I
like your little split screen bumper.
That's what I mean. Yeah. So I did that, cool. and people seem to like it. So I figured I would do a video like that of me moving the game up, where I'm actually helping myself get the game up there. And
oh, that'd be badass.
Yeah.
Good old tripod.
So that's the exactly. So that's the plan.
Adam, have you moved many games up with your winch since you installed it, or no?
Yeah, I moved. I think I moved.
He uses that to get up to the upper level of his house all the time. He just
Whee! I moved, I think, 3 games down because I was using that space not only as my arcade, but also like where I would fix games. So like if I had to sand down a cab or whatever, it'd be dust everywhere. And I was like, this is just stupid. So so no more of that. So all the games that were like really project games, I just moved down using the winch for that. And then I took up the pin, the fire pin, and what else did I take up? I took up Double Dragon, and I think one other game. So yeah, it's thing works beautiful. I mean, you just hook up a cable to the winch and it does all the work. So
cool.
Awesome.
Do you let John come over here and help you move games upstairs?
No, I don't think. Has he ever helped me? You know, he's helped me move my Neo Geo. A couple of the real heavy games, I've had him come over and help me out. But aside from that, it's kind of just been, just myself.
What is this?
I didn't realize that was his actual voice. Like, I know that guy.
No, I realized it was like a box set of my videos. I was like,
just wanted to test.
That's like in my top 5 timing moments of phones ever.
Yeah, I'm just curious because he comes over and you come over and help him all the time. I didn't know if he came over and helped you all the time or not.
No, I to be honest, before I had the stairs, I would just use my or have my brother-in-law come with his backhoe, and he has a set of forks, and he would just lock them and just send games that way. But since I had the stairs, I think no sooner did I finish the stairs, I put the winch in, and that was it. So now I can just move games on my own.
Adam's officially training his kids to help him.
Yeah, I do have Nate helping me out. My son, he's getting older now.
We have enough kids. Right. Wife, it's time to. We need some more helpers.
It's nice when they get old enough and they get strong enough. Like now he's 16, and so it's nothing for him to just come and muscle
awesome.
game with me. Yeah.
Gak knows what that's all about.
Gak knows all about that slave labor. Like, what do you pay
wiped their asses when the first 2 years they were alive? Time for payback.
Yeah.
Oh, Seth. Yeah. Guess what?
I guess what? When I get old, you'll be wiping my ass.
That's right. I've had that conversation more than a couple times.
Payback.
Yeah.
Dad shit his pants again.
Yep. Yeah. That really would be payback. Yeah.
So it's a good question. Moving heavy games. How much does a Spy Hunter weigh?
Too much.
A shit ton.
Yeah, I hated moving anything around.
The range is like 350 to 500 pounds. No one knows for sure.
I like the cap kit for like Spy Hunter. It's like Coke cans that are like this big. Like a couple of them in there.
Spy Hunter is heavier than an Atari cab. They are
crazy.
Really? Why?
Yeah.
Yes. It's stupid.
I just moved one to my storage unit in my shop around, and it was super heavy.
Why are they so heavy?
The bottom.
Lots of wood.
Yeah, I moved a bunch of Atari cabs, and then I had a Spy Hunter, and I was like, "Oh my god,
that's a really heavy machine. The heaviest one I've ever moved. That one, and you know what's pretty heavy too is I helped Keith move his Terminator 2 shooting game. That thing's fucking thing's heavy.
You want to know? Have mega touches inside of them.
You want to know another one that doesn't look heavy? Try moving to race driving.
Race who?
Race driving.
Hey,
race driving.
Buffett, I sent you an email. There was a free hard driving in Virginia. Did you see my email I sent you?
Yeah, I saw it there, Dave. Thank you. I haven't gone to pick it up because I don't have any space for it.
Yeah.
First world problems.
Yeah, right.
Problem to have.
Well, that's what everybody on the thread was like. I wish I had the room. You know, even though it's free, nobody's got the room.
Could someone pick it up and ship it to me? I'd pay for the shipping. Jeez.
God, what was shipping me on that? That's going to be $1,000.
For what game?
For race driving?
Right. For the cockpit.
It was a cockpit. Hard driving, I think.
Yeah, they break apart, don't they?
No.
Hard driving in a cockpit.
Oh, they did break apart.
No. If
But
they
it was
do, it's news to me, but they don't.
But it was like everyone is like, "Oh, I wish it's free," but no one's like, somebody get this." But yeah, you got to rent a truck and have the room, and it's like,
I can go over and get it.
If only you were closer. Love those posts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, if only you were closer.
Yeah. I can go get it easily. That's not a problem. I got the truck and trailer and all that stuff, but
and the bunny ears.
Is that close? Buffett, is that close to you?
Yeah, it's like 20 minutes. No, it's about half hour, 40 minutes away from me.
Oh, wow.
Actually, he's touching it right now.
Oh, probably.
He's not telling us. He actually picked it up.
No, actually, I did not. I'd like to have it. I've always wanted one. I've always liked that cabinet, but at the moment, I just don't.
I like it too. Yeah.
I legit don't have the place to put it. That's the only reason I haven't gone to get it.
Somebody was trying to trade me a track and field cocktail, and a really nice one for a game I had, and I'm like, I'd have to put it in my dining room, and I mean, it was beautiful. I'm like, I had no space for that. Like, where am I going to put that?
Well, Carrie uses her Tempest cocktail as an end table. It works quite well.
Yes. And Zadie enjoys it too. She finds it to be a lovely.
I'm very surprised there are not more scratch marks on that glass. She's very good.
Yeah, her nails are very, very short and they wear down naturally, so it isn't. Yeah, otherwise
it's not like if Kyle was up there.
Yeah, no. That would not be happening. But
wait, so Carrie, you have animals walking across the Tempest cocktail?
Yeah, my Tempest cocktail. I mean, I don't really like it, but yeah, my cocktail is right here, and so sometimes you see Zadie perched right here. So yeah, I have a little cover for my lamp, but no.
Dave, it was funny the other weekend when I was there with my parents. We were sitting at the kitchen table, and I'm like, "Did you guys even realize that this is an arcade game?" And they're like, "What?
Yeah.
Oh, that's
funny."
Wait, is this like the movie Meet the Parents? Your parents went to Carrie's?
It was the first time for them being out there, but she's met them like 3 times.
Yeah, and come on now, I live in California.
Everybody wants to come out and visit.
Yeah. Pretty much.
Let's go see Jim's chick.
My mom, the whole time that my parents are walking around in her neighborhood, and they're like, "Man, is there a place around here that we could rent?" And I'm like, "Oh god."
They were talking about moving into spending a month in the town just south of me. Actually, just north of me.
Gaylord Fokker, wasn't that the guy's name?
Yeah.
Gaylord Fokker.
Have had your mom's cooking? That'd be just fine.
And she'd do your gardening too.
Oh, I know, right? That would actually be awesome.
They were like salivating. They're like, "Oh, we would do this and this, and oh my god, you've got this flower." I'm like, "Oh god."
And I don't garden at all.
Huh? No. What was the rare flower that Gaylord was bringing? The tulip. Meet the Parents. Remember that?
They got rainbow roses now.
Well.
All right, Gleek, you can leave us now.
All right, it was great. Small doses.
All right, see you again in about 4 months.
Small doses. Now get the fuck out.
Gleek, are you going to Sneak Fest?
Not that one, no. No.
Okay.
Are you going to Grinkers this year?
The Grinkers is what I'm leaning to. Yes.
That a boy.
Yeah.
That's where you're going.
We need to see Bart if he's going to make it to fucking.
I'm going solo. Bart wants to go with me.
Speaking of Grinkers, my flight. I know I said this, but my flight is booked.
Boring.
Yeah, that's what Carrie said, and look what happened there.
Yeah.
Well, I'm
booked too.
I'm flying out. I'm flying out on Wednesday. Actually,
God,
Are you really?
Grinkers is gonna be a weak event.
Come on, I did it because the flight was way cheaper on Wednesday than Thursday.
Beer is
Really?
not a dollar on Wednesday.
So speaking of Grinkers, Orange Up, I posted a link in our chat.
In
Hey
our
Jim,
chat.
what's there to do at Grinkers early though? I don't know anybody else.
Okay, it's also in the show description.
Yeah, it's
Okay.
it's a beautiful place. It's just a party, but the everyone gets out there on Thursday. I'm getting out there Wednesday night, and so it's not. I'll probably head out to the arcade and say hi to Steve and play some games.
You're gonna be well rested.
I just posted a thread today for it. So we actually have a thread on KLV now to point people to for details on Grinkfest 6.
Hey, speaking of Grinkers, he didn't move the location, right? It's still the same.
No,
place.
there's pictures in the thread if you look at it.
He's expanding.
There's sneak peek pictures of the expansion.
No, I knew he was expanding. I just didn't know if he moved location.
Same location.
Okay.
The main entrance. If you go to the left, he expanded to the left there.
Where the banner is.
Where the banner is, yes, exactly. In that picture, you can see. So it's going to fit somewhere between 50 and 60 games in the expansion,
and more bathrooms.
And then he also wanted to note for Jimbo and Mock that there will be expanded restrooms. The ladies seem to have a pretty sweet setup, but the dudes have always had like one urinal and one toilet, and at Grinkfest it gets pretty ripe in there.
Wouldn't that be cool if I just had our names on it? Jim and
Oh yeah.
Jim and Mock's
with an arrow pointing. Yeah.
Notice how one of the persons in that picture, they have a happy face on them.
Yeah.
No,
we won't say who that is, but
where is it? I lost it.
Awesome photo editing by whoever did that.
That's like
that's very accurate.
Yeah,
that's like deluxe.
Yes. So they're not only are they expanding the game area, they're expanding the restroom area to, I believe, it's going to be 3 urinals and 2 toilets, whereas
and a
before
partridge.
Before it was 1 urinal and one toilet. So it
He
goes
just needs
from
a fucking
2 to
trough.
5. So
I'm telling him he just needs a trough from like wall to wall.
Right?
that would work
It's
great.
like a baseball game.
So Steve gave me the exclusive on that, showing the photos there, and
Nice.
so yeah, we'll in the next few weeks here we'll narrow down the details, but wanted to get it posted and started because we're really less than 6 months away now. So
Could it be because we are officially hosting Grinkfest?
we are
6?
the Arcade Hangout is the official host of Grinkfest 6.
And we're kicking it up a notch with the VIP with beer
We
glasses,
are.
hopefully.
And I did mention that
Just
there,
think in
yes.
a few years we'll be the longest running host of Grink.
I think we need to do like a live 30-minute audio only.
If
or
we
maybe
can,
video.
I mean,
you don't have to make it a big thing. You can just say we're gonna do it for a half hour. You know what I mean?
It's-
We could even do it in the morning before it even
Right,
starts.
so
I'll
if you're
just
not
have to
make
make
your
sound
voices
effects with
anyway.
the voices.
Doing that?
Why would they listen to us there?
Yeah.
All the people that listen to us go to it. So
Right, exactly.
It's not for them; it's for us.
It's for
It's
Seabart.
all of us sitting at the same table, just talking about.
It's not for
yesterday.
us. It's for Seabart because he's the only one who doesn't go to these things.
Well, we'll let Time Runner set his butt up and we'll just take over his show.
Well, we could do it in like someone's in one of the hotel rooms
Yeah,
too.
we could
It'd be
interview Sam.
quieter.
There you go.
What's that?
We could interview Sam, Time Runner's wife.
Oh,
I thought you meant Mayo.
I have
Yeah,
to mention though, unfortunately, 34K isn't with us tonight because he's got a power outage in his neighborhood. So, but he's definitely an integral part of this, and looking forward to his what he can come up with artistically.
Hot dog.
So
it's like the banana dance, like
yeah,
the peanut butter and jelly time dance. Yeah,
peanut butter
jelly time,
and a baseball bat.
Peanut butter jelly.
Yeah, where he go now? There he go. Peanut butter jelly.
So we should talk offline about if we're doing Airbnb or hotel too.
Oh,
right.
Yeah, we're inviting everybody who watches to join us in our Airbnb.
One bathroom for everyone.
We're inviting everybody to use the bathroom.
That way, you not only get the bathroom experience at Grinkers, you get the same experience at the Airbnb.
You get the old school Grinkers bathroom experience in the Airbnb.
Hoping to exceed the gallons of urine flowing. Then
that do not make it into the actual
cabin
toilet
in.
So I can feel at home with both Grinkers and at the Airbnb. Poor Carrie.
Yeah, right.
So Orange Whip, I think you're planning on making a visit there in May sometime.
Yeah, I'll be there by the second week of May.
Second week of May.
Yeah.
Most likely I'll be the last weekend of May, but this kind of depends on what's happening on my end house-wise, but I think that's probably what's going to happen for me.
Yeah, ours is pretty close to being nailed down there, so I'll probably be at Grinkers second week in May. Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
We won't see you there.
No,
Right.
you won't. Well, hey, maybe I'll stream live. You never know.
There you go.
No, that's true.
Hey, Adam, have you ever wanted to come out to see Grinkers?
I'd love to go. It depends if it fits with my work and life schedule and everything.
Yeah.
But yeah, I've always wanted to go and check it out.
Yeah, that's fun.
Oh, that's such a
I
challenge.
heard there's a lot of needy kids who need buildings built in.
Go fund Adam.
Start a GoFundMe.
Yes.
Honestly, if you post that in Clav, I bet a bunch of people would.
Send me to Grinkers.
They would donate.
And then
AdamTheGrinkers.com.
put some, and then in there you would have to put some like not necessarily factual motivators, like if you fund him, you will be on the priority list for his pole position.
Dude, fuck that. If he just releases the pole position board, he can freaking retire.
The VIP support level of the FPGA pole position. And
yeah, that's right. And every bag you get one. There's no bags. They're just gone.
You get an autographed 8.5 by 11 poster of the FPGA.
Me soldering, working.
Yes, there you go. Perfect.
Part of your donation goes to Adam helping the children of third world countries. That actually is pretty legit. I can't even make a joke about that.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
We should do stuff like that if we get bigger.
Yeah. Adam will get stung by how many bees if he?
Oh yeah, that was brutal. Yeah, I'm hoping to go back. Actually, they don't have any work for us probably this summer, but it looks like things might line up for the upcoming year. So we'll see. Hoping to take my son. We'll go over there and put him to work. Yeah, that was the plan. So I went. I went probably 5 years ago as my first trip, and then 2 years ago as my second trip. I was hoping to go this year. My son's finally old enough, but they're not ready for us. So.
God damn it! After hearing you talk like this, I'm gonna have to go to like a confessional or something.
Right?
I feel like an asshole.
We're all so selfish. I'm like sitting here drinking my $6 can of beer, and
it is. I mean, it is. It's one thing that that is humbling. Is just like how you drive down the road and there's potholes in the pavement, whatever. But like the quality, even in a road like that, is just so astronomically more than what it is down there. You go into like the airports or stores, and it's just like the floor is filthy, the walls are filthy. You know what I mean? It's just not as clean as it is here. And then you walk into like a 7-Eleven, it's just like, wow, this place is mint. And it just like looks so nice.
It's like the upscale restaurant there.
Yeah, it just puts everything into perspective. So
wow.
Yeah.
I imagine.
And just simple things like running water, and people are taking their showers outside. They cook and they do all their dishes outside, and they just have this little shack kind of structure for living and for sleeping, but everything else is kind of done outside. So you feel like you're camping. That's what it feels like. These people are just they're just camping all the time. So
we do that for fun.
Exactly.
Yeah. All right, I've had a weekend of this shit. I'm going home.
Yeah.
Yeah, I want a hot shower and a comfy bed.
Right.
Hey,
a lot of hammocks.
Oh,
A lot of people sleep in hammocks.
Wow.
Hey, orange balls. I'll have a box of those. Me a box of those naked ladies.
Exactly.
Hey, does anybody in our group own a Switch? Nintendo Switch?
Yes. Yeah, I have one.
I know Andrew has one. This would be more for him too. So, Orange, you have one, and anyone else?
Yep.
Me.
Bleak?
Mhm.
Okay, cool. Okay, so I don't know if you care about this or not, but the SNK 40th Anniversary Collection is coming out for the Switch, and it's going to have like the console and the arcade version of their games.
It looks like Adam's going to head out. So, Adam.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Come back soon. We miss you.
Adam.
Thanks for joining us.
We enjoy improving our brain cells once in a while, not just numbing ourselves with beer.
Thanks for coming on, Adam.
Yeah, thanks for having me. I love hanging out with you guys.
Yeah, we'll talk to you soon.
All right, buddy.
Thanks, Adam.
All right, see you guys.
Later, Adam.
See ya.
Hey,
All
Mark,
right,
before you finish, I just want to go over something. On the Switch, they've had tons of SNK releases on their channel. So now they're combining them all together in one package now?
When in a 40th anniversary, yeah. So I don't know, but this list of games, I haven't seen some of these before. So I'm gonna read off some of the games, and you guys tell me if you've seen them. So they have Alpha Mission, that's going to be console and arcade. Athena, console arcade. Crystallis, I didn't even heard of that. Akari Warriors 2. Both those are going to be console and arcade.
Wow.
Akari Warriors 3, The Rescue, console and arcade. Guerrilla War, never see that, ever. That's the first time I've ever seen the arcade version of Guerrilla War ever come out on a system that I've ever seen anyway. That's going to be console and arcade. POW, or POW, I should say. Console and arcade. Prehistoric Isle in 1930, arcade. Psycho Soldier, Street Smart, TNK3, and Vanguard. When have you ever seen Vanguard come out on a console?
I didn't know SNK did Vanguard.
Yeah,
only on the Bit Kit.
Ah, shit. Adam,
Is this for the Switch?
This is all. Oh, hey, that's
that was fucking awesome. I was glad.
Yeah,
that
so yeah, these are going to be all in the SNK 40, and they're going to add a couple more games too. That's just the list so far. But here, I'm going to put a link in the. I'll put a link in the chat. So it's also some of them are going to have like a little booklet and things that go with it. So that might.
Holy
be
shit!
cool.
I just realized that Mock is in a different room.
Yeah, what the hell?
Oh.
Oh, he's in the office area next to the game room.
Did the wife kick you out of the game room?
No, it's just
She's in there now.
it's kind of easier because my computer's here and I can just sit here. Because every time I go in there, I have to set up every night. So
sure.
It's just easier to sit here. But anyway,
was that your Star Wars Last Jedi shirt from your favorite movie?
This one here, Star Wars.
Yeah.
That's just my pajama. I'm gonna sleep in it as my pajama shirt.
Ooh, so you're not wearing pants?
I'm not wearing pants right now.
Yes.
Stand up.
And I have this for later.
Oh. Star Wars.
Well, you know what's cool is I got a rig here because the wire, it's on a pulley system, so that way the wire, you don't step on it.
Dude, you're like Ready Playering one it up, man.
He's player 2.
Yeah, I'm playing like Skyrim like crazy. It's like, it's another whole game again. So much fun. And I took Andrew's advice and I put all those fun mods on it and stuff. And
the Skyrim job.
Yeah, Skyrim job. I rim job my Skyrim.
Looks like a Macho Man Randy Savage mod.
I found that mod that Andrew's talking about, where like has realistic nipples and all that.
Looks like I joined at the right time.
Yeah.
Knockers. Hey, Gak.
Thank you, Doctor.
What do you got there?
Yeah.
One from
good afternoon, Jerry.
Brew Rebellion. That's out of Banning there by
the what is it? Hang on.
White Chocolate Raspberry Imperial Stout. Wow.
Yeah.
Tasty and delicious.
Oh, it's
Nice.
yum.
Yeah. DJ Flask, you need to switch to like super duper cheap beer like Pabst or like
Bud Light,
Lager, or maybe Blue Line, Ralph's beer, or whatever. Just drink the cheapest shit beer, and then that money that you normally would have put to expensive beer, you put it towards going to Grinkers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A case of Pabst over here is $60. So
Well, here it's like
liquor is quicker.
like $6.
yeah. Grinkers 2019 is 100% definite. I've had
18 is 90% definite.
No, I've had some stuff happen in the last week that has completely stopped me from doing this year.
Did you lose a case of beer?
Bummer.
That's bullshit.
No, I got to get another house. So that's
Everyone's got to get a new house. Talk to Gak.
Yeah.
Come to Detroit, man. They're cheap.
Yeah.
You can buy a whole block for like $80.
Yeah, for less than a case of Pabst.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe I'll see. I still want to try it. I do. The flights are still the same price, so that's a good thing. So it's still pretty cheap to actually get to Grinkers. Just long ass flights. So
yeah.
Speaking of the woo sound, the Ric Flair, I just watched a document. Totally random. I just watched a documentary on. Have you guys heard about the Andre the Giant documentary that HBO just released? I watched it last night. It's really fucking good.
Yeah, I'm watching it.
What did
I'm
you
watching
watch?
it tonight.
I almost cried.
Wait, what are you watching?
The Andre the Giant documentary.
Oh.
It was just released. HBO did it, and I watched it last night, and it was really good.
You know, there's a documentary floating around on YouTube, which on Andre the Giant, which had some stuff that they did not have in the HBO version, like how he couldn't really. Rob Reiner, he couldn't really walk around during Princess Bride, and they asked him like, "How do you get around?" And he goes, "I have an ATV," so they got him an ATV to go around the set. You know, that's how he get around.
Yeah, he was in bad shape at that time, but I like that they interviewed almost all of the Princess Bride cast, just about everyone, including Bill.
What was wrong with him at the end? Why was he sick or whatever?
Well, he had this. I can't remember what they called it. What the name of the disease is, where everything in him was still growing, but at a certain point, when he was younger, and like when he was in his early teens, like 14, 15, everything, his entire body, organs, everything were growing at a crazy rate, and he never went to a doctor, and so they could treat that, but he never went to a doctor until he broke his ankle in wrestling. But at a certain point in his life, he was still growing, but his organs were not. So his heart was no longer growing, and so his organs couldn't support his whole body, and so he had problems with his back, he had problems with his joints, and then he knew that he wasn't going to live forever. And what was it, Dave? How old was he? 46 or something like that? 40?
Yeah. I think he was 46 because that's how old I am. Yeah,
that's young.
Wow. 46.
Yeah.
So he had like giantism then, right?
Yeah.
I think so.
Yeah, where his growth hormone was astronomically high all the time.
Yeah.
Whereas
like
normally that tapers off when you get into your teens, you get to a certain point and your growth hormone
stops. Yeah.
slows down. Yeah.
Wasn't the guy that played Jaws in like the 007 movies? Didn't he have giantism too? He's like a big dude.
I'm trying to think of his name.
He was in Happy Madison. I wasn't fucking Happy Gilmore.
Richard Keel.
Happy Gilmore.
So
But he died. He died too.
Yeah. So my cousins went to school with his kids in elementary school.
Oh wow.
He moved out to like Yosemite area, and I saw him at the neighborhood park one time, and I was like, Jesus, he's huge. And his wife was like tiny, like under 5 foot tall.
Hey.
I mean, just insane.
You know, he's in one of the most iconic Twilight Zone episodes ever made. He's the episode where he's the tall alien who brings in the book.
Yes.
And then like shares technology
to serve
and
human,
right?
To serve man.
To serve man.
Yeah.
He's the big alien.
Yeah.
It's a cookbook.
Yes.
Don't get out the cookbook.
Yeah.
Simpsons spoof that. How to cook 40 humans. No, there's more space. That's how to cook for 40 humans. Wait a second. It just keeps going.
But no, I mean, it's pretty. I mean, that is like one of the most iconic Twilight Zone episodes ever made. I think, anyway.
Yeah.
I mean, so it's kind of cool that he got to be in something. Oh yeah, here.
Richard
I
Keel.
love Twilight Zone.
Richard Keel, yeah, man, he's a legend.
I should start watching those episodes again. That's one of the few things that's perpetually always on my my list for Netflix. Like I never delete it. Is Twilight Zone is always.
Oh,
on.
you mean in your favorites? Yeah.
In
Are you
my
still
favorites.
playing the pin, Carrie?
I love that game. Yes.
That pin's awesome, right?
It really is. It never gets old. I never get very good at it. I'll say that. I don't. And lately, I haven't.
Well,
been
you
playing
beat everybody at the pinball tournament.
Yeah.
You're not that good at it. Jeez. Wipe the floor with everybody except for Nick.
Except for Nick.
Yeah.
I know that was a nail biter. That he and I went down to the very last game. That was fun. That was well. It's always fun to wipe the floor with people. It's not so fun to get your ass kicked. I gotta say, it's usually me getting my ass handed to me.
Well, you know, we all know Slick Nick. He's like arcade royalty.
Yeah.
You know, he sees those Lakers games like courtside, sitting next to Magic Johnson, and he's like traveling all over the place all the time. Man.
Yeah, I think he's in the Bahamas or something right now.
Florida.
Yeah.
Florida. And they're both super tan. Did you see the picture?
Yeah,
I didn't even recognize them at
and
first.
relaxed.
Yeah.
That's probably why they're not in the chat tonight.
Yeah, they're probably living it up.
Right. Big shout out if they watch this, but they won't, because why would you watch this?
Stepping into the
Did you see their picture on Facebook though, where they're like together on the beach?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like,
Pretty awesome.
That was super cute. But yeah, that pin absolutely rocks. That's
so good. I was so sad that I didn't get a chance to. We didn't have a chance to play it last time we were out there with my dad, because that's all I remember. That's one of the reasons why I wanted that pin.
Does Tales from the Crypt still get played at all?
Mm-hmm.
Or is that just get dust?
Honestly, it doesn't get it does not get maybe a quarter of the playtime that Twilight Zone does.
Oh, you think so? Oh, well, for you maybe.
Yeah,
I play them pretty equally, but yeah.
Yeah, I don't. I have to say, I mean, like I enjoy it. I love all the mods that we did to it, which just makes it look really cool. But yeah, the gameplay. Now that I have Twilight Zone, honestly, the gameplay is just. The one thing about it is those ramps are so fucking hard to make that it just ends up being a game where I just, I'm like just trying to keep the ball alive and I'm whacking around, because it's like I feel like I can't go into modes sometimes because some of those shots are just so difficult. Those ramps, you have to be so precise to get them up there on Crypt.
Yeah.
That is
it's true. Yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy. And it's funny, last time I played, I was like, okay, I just, if I can get better
at the best game.
Better at these. Yeah, I had a really good game. But still didn't beat the one. And I swear after I put those Cliffies in, it made it a little more challenging, but maybe that's just my imagination.
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah, but we had a ton of really amazing games like right out of the chute.
Yeah, but part of it is I put the Cliffy in, but now that I'm thinking about it, the Cliffy is covering square.
Oh yeah.
Remember? So it was it would go into
It was
the
more of a lip. Yeah, it would just like sink in there. Yeah.
Yeah, because it was
It'd
badly
be like
worn.
multi-ball, like every other.
Yeah, the Cliffy was perfect.
Hey, multi-ball, all right.
I mean, it covered it.
I'll have a box of those. Give me a box of those. Wait a minute.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Cliffy covered the wear absolutely perfectly, but it also made the game harder because it was the scoop that it would go in. You know, it would just fall into the scoop much more easily.
Oh, it would. I don't like to put the Cliffies on it. Like I was thinking about getting the metal Cliffies for like Medieval Madness, but it's kind of like something I kind of want to wait till I start seeing a lot of wear, and then maybe I'll pop them in because it looks so nice right now. You know.
Yeah. And I have to say, I haven't put him on Twilight Zone. I just feel like I don't play it that much, and I know but with Tales from the Crypt, there was a lot of wear.
Oh, it was on route then. Okay.
Yeah. This was not a. Yeah, it's actually an Italian game. Maybe it was on route in Italy.
Oh, you must have the 3-slot. Do you have the 3-slot coin thing in the front?
No.
3 slots?
No.
Okay, usually the ones that are overseas are 3 in the front instead of 2.
Oh,
kind of weird.
Yeah. Didn't know that.
Sorry, go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna say I only know it because the power supply was.
Different.
Yeah, it was different. They had to do a converter thing, and so I can't. Normally, you have the plug that you can like kind of the external I don't know what they call it, where you have that extra power supply we can plug in to your game, but you can't on this one because it's not 120.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, because we looked at the manual and we're like, wait a minute, that outlet is not there.
Yeah.
Hey, this all makes sense now. What the fuck?
Yeah. I remember when I got my Whitewater, it only had 2 coin slots, and Keith got his Whitewater, it had 3, and I was like, oh, that's weird. So like later when we were like making adjustments on his Whitewater, he goes, let's just put it back to default settings. Boop. And then everything's in French.
Oh, shit. Oh,
that's funny.
You want the price of white water?
It's a little je ne sais quoi.
Yeah. General direction.
It just buttered our croissant. So now we're trying to figure out how to get it back to English, but you're like looking through like the menus and like, yeah. You had to open up the manual and find the...
What does the word English look like in French?
Yeah,
Anglais.
Fun.
Anglais. Everything's just
I love, you know what I love about Keith though? He doesn't panic. Like I would have panicked. I went, oh shit.
He put it on French and the game's like he put it on French and the game's like super rude to him now. Another one, right?
I put a quarter and I only get 1 ball.
Yeah, right.
Hey, bud, what's your problem?
Everything's dickish about this game.
Yeah.
Oh, it's French.
You filthy American.
God. I'm going to Europe again at the end of this year. Just like 2 weeks in.
Wait a minute.
I told my wife, I don't want to go to France. I don't want to go there.
You
have to make that court appearance in Amsterdam, huh?
Nice.
So we're going with a couple of friends, and they want to go see the Eiffel Tower, so we're giving them 1 day there.
Ooh, Eiffel Tower.
I don't even want to go do that. But we're doing it for them. So I got to endure a day in France.
In Paris. Yeah.
And then flying out from France to America is super cheap compared to flying out anywhere else in Europe.
Oh.
So, which is interesting. Yeah. So we were going to fly out from like Amsterdam or from Germany or something like that, but it's just a lot more money. So
how expensive are flights out to Idaho for you guys? Because for me, that's got to be one of the most expensive flights in the States.
Really?
It's almost always over $400, easy.
Ours is like under 5.
I booked mine for like 200 something.
Really?
Which is why I booked it now. I'm like, why am I going to wait? I know I'm going to go. I know.
Yeah.
Well, that was why I booked you, because when you're like, hey, I just booked, I'm like, what? Oh, well, truth be told, the first Grinkers I went to, I booked in April. I remember.
Who's bought their ticket already?
I
have.
Oh,
I
used credit card points though towards mine, just like I do every year. So
it
cost
have
me.
You ordered yours?
$9.50.
No.
And I was mourning the fact of just how much I was paying to go to Brofest, because speaking of France, I got I have like all those little travel things that pop up like, oh, here's the deal. And I told Jim, I'm like, it would be cheaper for me to fly round trip to Paris than it is for me to fly fucking round trip to Boston.
Isn't that
stupid?
That weird.
And then the funny thing, the interesting thing about that is, our flights to each other. So me to California, Carrie to like the way that we have things going. Typically, like we've had good prices. So like flights on average are between $200 and $250 round trip. For me to fly out to Boston is I bought my ticket for $150 round trip nonstop. And hers are like 500 and some, or ridiculous. It's like her flying out here on New Year's.
No, it is just, and it's the Sunday. That's the big problem. Like if I could leave at 7 a.m. on Sunday, it'd be cheap.
Carrie, Nashville says you should check into flights into Manchester. I don't know if.
First of all, I've already bought my ticket. But I've done that. But there isn't much that goes there. So the only
when I looked, it was not cheaper. It was more expensive.
No. Yeah, exactly. It's Southwest.
You're basically flying to Boston, then to Manchester a lot of times.
It's always going to be more expensive in a place like Manchester.
And then you have to. We'd have to figure out how to get out of there, because Leo's not going to drive to Manchester.
Right.
The flight from here from Boston just went up to over $800.
Ugh. Yeah.
Canadian, so like 600.
Hence the reason why I'm not going.
Yeah, no, it's insane. It's insanely.
No, that was US. 800 something US.
Was it? Wow.
Yeah. Whereas like a month ago when I first checked, it was 200 and something.
No.
So Carrie, when you fly into Idaho, are you gonna rent a car from there, or are you gonna you are?
Yeah, I'll rent a car.
B-dubs.
Yeah, exactly. I like having the flexibility, and what I could do. I'm happy to do. Depending on what the timing is. I can certainly do some pickup and airport run kind of stuff. I don't mind that at all.
And it depends if we all get a Airbnb or not, because that's like an issue. Because like if we go to the hotel, they'll pick us up, but if there isn't, then do we rent a car?
We'll make rules that dudes have to pee outside. No.
Yeah, right. Yeah, but let's face it,
Dave?
the Airbnb would be like $100 each.
Yeah.
Compared to.
I think I could hold my breath
really,
to make that. Yeah, I think I could probably suck it up.
But obviously we should take the. Yeah, they don't want to hear.
We'll talk it offline. But
yeah, exactly. As fascinating as it is, hear us talking about our travel.
So it actually sounds like the whole arcade. Wait, what are they? Shit, Coin Rejects crew is planning on making it.
Oh,
really?
Green Fest. Yeah.
What about Arcade Radio? Is Adam and those guys? Yeah.
I would assume Time
What I
Run
want to do is I want to have like a little brawl between the Rejects and the Arcade Radio arm wrestling contest. Yeah, and what's his fucking
cockfight?
Shit.
Wrestling in the car park.
Ken House can referee it.
There you go.
Who's in the Coin Rejects? Name some people.
So there's Bricktop, who is Jordan is his name.
They're all from Portland.
Yeah.
Who was it we met at Arcade Expo?
That was Bricktop, Jordan.
Okay, yeah, he was cool. Yeah, I had a beer with him. So
yeah, he's a good guy. I like him. Yeah, times.
That's nice. I was chatting to him, and then I recognized his voice. I'm like, "You're from fucking Coin Ops."
Yes,
Coin
exactly.
Rejects, and he's like, "Yeah." I'm like, "Oh wow, dude, how you going?"
I love those guys. They're really entertaining.
Man, I text Jordan a lot, and it was funny when I met him first at Rakers. I'm like, out of everyone, and you're the voice that's so unique that as soon as he starts speaking, I'm like, yes, it's you. I know.
Yeah. So they had I listened to their latest podcast. Somehow I missed their last podcast, but their latest one I listened to, and then after that was their previous one where they talk about Grinkfest from last year. I think it's called Pure Gold is the name of the tagline of that podcast.
Oh, I should listen to it.
That's few old. That's
like from December or something.
Yeah. Shit, man, you're behind the times.
I don't know. Yeah, I guess so.
What they say about Grinkers?
They love it.
Just talk about it being a blast. They talk about the games that were in the tournament and stuff, and mentioned 34K.
How attractive we are.
What's that?
How attractive we are.
Yes, exactly.
They had a nice fire escape little.
Yes,
thing.
they did. They did. I actually
not that I know anything about that.
No.
No.
Yeah. They have a phone number you can call to ask them questions. So
I'm gonna
call them. I'm gonna call them, leave them a message, and talk about Grinkers for this year.
You should call in as Bobcat Gothwaite.
Yeah. You gonna make it to Grinkfest 6?
That was pretty good.
Yeah, that was pretty good.
You said you were not Bobcat Gak. Is that correct?
No, I'm not.
Are you not Bobcat? Are you Bobcat?
Well, if I am, I don't remember. I have a dual personality then, if that's the case.
All right. Well, if you're not Bobcat.
The glasses come off when he's Bobcat.
Dude, Bobcat would boost this show's ratings, man. Come on.
By at least one viewer.
That's funny because John Jacobson swore it was like from my area code. Like
you and Andrew know who it is, though, right?
We don't do voicemails on this show.
They know who it is already.
Yeah, they gotta know.
That's a segment we'd have to start doing.
Well, I think Andrew knows about it too. I think Andrew knows.
Someone's got to tell me offline. Then I've always wanted to know who the hell it was.
If somebody told me, I forgot.
I'm thinking it's Craig because he's Hollywood.
Cool Mo Craig.
Yeah,
that's what I guess it was. If I was,
I don't think so.
No, I don't think he'd do that.
He actually
Time Runner with all
a few hours ago about Cax.
Time Runner might maybe.
Time Runner might not.
No, well, he might know, but he it's not him.
He would have just done Bob.
Sorry.
I think Bob needs to die.
It was a good try.
It's
try a different YouTube personality.
We'll invite Billy on the show, right?
I like watching. I like the few times that I've tuned into their show. I've really enjoyed when they play their only voicemail, which is always from Bob. And I like watching Mark's expression on his face when they're playing it. Like that's entertaining to me because it's like, well, this is him, so he's like, you know.
I think it needs to be written off.
Dave, you should tell them because every time I've listened in, you've been in their chat. So
I'm a number one fan.
No, someone else.
You and there's a couple traitors. Usually, when I join, there's 6 or 7 viewers, myself incled, and so there's definitely
Dave is their biggest fan.
Yes,
we only have one viewer that watches ours in the YouTube chat. So
Steve from Albany. No,
I'm not talking about tonight. That's what they mentioned one night.
Carrie is never allowed to be on their show because it'll cancel out her being the only woman on their
That's
show.
right. Yeah.
It would just shut down. It would just like freeze.
Carrie's
will no longer be 100% more than the next or something, right?
Or we'll get Carrie to sign a non-compete with our show.
I did really enjoy having Adam and Mark on here because mostly Adam because he's never experienced this before, and they're used to structure and 3 people and production value, all that.
He tried to weasel his way out a few times, and we're like, no, you're staying here.
Oh yeah, no, it was just fucking hilarious. I'm like, sorry, Adam, this is a little bit different than the 3 people. I mean, you got Tan in here now, all trying to talk over each other, all getting crazy, being interrupted. Welcome to the jungle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So between now and Grinkfest 6, there's 2 people we have to have on if they can make it. For sure, Steve.
Walter.
Steve needs to be on at least.
You remember when Steve was a regular? Even if he only came on to sleep. Yeah, he came on to get some Z's.
Yeah.
He'd show up to get a little sleep,
Yep.
Steve. It was great to see Adam. He was one of ours too that we hadn't seen in a long time.
Yeah,
I got to watch a bit of that at work. So
Nice. And we
love
need to get
Hangout.
Nash Villain on with us.
Yeah.
Even though I'm
Clint
pretty sure
needs
he
to be on.
doesn't drink and he doesn't cuss or anything like that. He's
He
like
probably doesn't have a
straight
camera
shooter,
Doesn't
good
even know the
guy.
book.
And just see how he reacts to our silliness, you know.
He said to invite Walter on the show. It's like Walter Day.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
Walter would come on though if you asked him. He would.
Yeah.
Yeah, we don't need Walter on here.
I know. I'm just saying, if you asked him, he would actually go on though.
Right.
I've met Walter many times. We don't need Walter on here.
He's a nice guy, but yeah.
He's too popular already with all.
Yeah,
this
he's too big for this show.
Maybe he could pull his guitar on here and sing us a song, though.
Please, we don't have a guitar player on the show. We
Isn't
on knobbies. And all
Isn't that a good thing?
Yeah, exactly. We don't look like trying to
300% more girls.
Wait a second.
Clint says he doesn't have a camera, but you know what? That's okay. We could put up a picture or something. You can just be by voice, right? And
People like
just have
Buffett. You can do a Buffett.
Exactly. Because yeah,
Hey,
and this way we get to pick your image.
After the show last week, I had Buffett on camera.
Yeah.
There was a day that 34K we were doing our ukuleles and bread.
You know what we'll do for Nashvillian? We'll give him one of Gleek's.
John slobbing on Nobby.
In the lobby.
He's in the lobby, slobbing on Nobby.
I didn't hear what you said,
Cut it, Tiger.
Yeah.
Tiger, cut it! So it's always like in my head, I'm like 1, 2, 3, 4, counting to 10.
Before we get flagged.
Yep.
Yeah.
By the way, what happened to our one show that got flagged? The whole hour of the show was missing for like 3 days. So
That was fucking weird.
yeah.
I haven't watched it.
That was that
Was it last week or the week before? I can't remember now.
Week
Week
before.
before. Yeah.
It had nothing to do with the flagging. That was, remember we were having issues with people, the cameras were dropping shit. We couldn't see everybody.
Yeah.
And we kept refreshing.
That happened like a year ago, and exactly the same thing happened. We lost some of the show during that.
Weird.
But it did come back though. The whole show's back.
Yeah, we did get
on there.
flagged, and I fought it, and like fucking less than 12 hours later.
You fought the law.
I was waiting for him to pause to do that.
I know that last week.
They dropped it.
There you go, Chris. Seabart.
I'm listening. What did they say?
So they dropped the dispute, but the download never showed up, so I could never download the show. That's why the last week's, but the week before's audio podcast took so long to get, because I couldn't get the file to download.
Oh, to get to make the MP3 version or
Yeah,
whatever.
because usually when you win a dispute, then all of a sudden the MP3 shows or MP4 shows up to download, and it didn't. And so I had emails into YouTube saying, "Hey, where the hell is the MP4? I won the copyright dispute," and it never showed up.
And they said, "Fuck you."
No, I never heard back from them.
Well, that's not surprising.
But yeah, I just ripped the I ripped the audio portion.
That's YouTube.
I am on fire.
That's a YouTube in a nutshell right there. Fuck you.
Hooters you got there.
Yeah, you get to use us for free. We don't give you any support whatsoever.
No.
Yeah. But
Yeah,
that,
I
that
just
one
ripped
thing
the audio
uh,
and did that way.
Gleek, hook up Clint with a camera.
They shit on all of our
Yeah,
houses.
identified him when I'm
right here.
Jack's in Greg's room trying to take a piss in his drawer.
That's right.
It's all the freaking wise camp, man. $30.
Yeah, by the way, if anybody wants to see what Grinkfest, or not, sorry, I'm sorry, Brofest 4 or whatever it's being called.
3.
4.
I was taking
You
a
could-
bath.
Oh, I was thinking. I'm sorry. Go ahead. Yeah, go ahead.
Well, you could look
I'll add
back
to
on Arcade Impossible. Just did their release videos
Oh
from like
God.
3 years ago and 2 years ago, just in the last couple weeks.
Ridiculous.
I gotta say, the Brofest 2 video, the 2016 one, I was excited because I'm like, oh, it brings me so back to those times. But then you realize that like 1/20th of the video was actually them at Fun Spot, and you're like,
Yeah.
oh, that's right. They weren't actually. Oh, That's right. They were not part of that at all.
Yeah. I couldn't
It
even
was
watch it all the way
basically
through.
it was
that
a
boring.
fucking it was a family video of them taking a vacation in Nashua. It was not about anything arcade related. Yeah.
And they weren't even at the arcade; they were at the beach.
No, that's what I mean. It was a family video of a vacation.
Yeah.
That had nothing to do with
So, Orange,
Yo.
you know the Nat video that Gak shot that I edited?
From
where I get rammed into a pinball machine.
Yes.
Yeah. I wanna put that on the arcade hangout
Facebook group.
No. Here on YouTube on our channel here, because when we ran into people at Arcade Expo, I asked them, "Have you seen our Nat video, the one that's hosted on my YouTube channel?" And they're like, "No, we follow you guys on Arcade Hangout. I don't know what you're talking about." They didn't know what I was talking about. So I'm like, so that video needs to be on our podcast thing.
That was the original. That's what started it all. That was fucking amazing.
Yeah, so I'm gonna upload it to our FTP, Orange. And can you upload it to the Arcade Hangout?
Yep.
All right, cool.
Hey,
good.
Yeah,
Now everyone can begin.
Send me those pictures and videos and stuff. So
I haven't. I forgot.
No, you haven't. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I saw. Send me.
You should post that on Clav, all that stuff.
Yeah, I took photos, but I didn't take as much as I planned to. So yeah, I would like to get some so I can print some pictures out or something. So yeah.
I actually just started editing a video tonight for this one, Sling Jaws with Maneater.
Yep.
Oh, sweet. You're
right,
Maneater.
I just started editing that video. Oh, nice. There you go.
Wow. I'm getting
with James the 833, I think.
Yeah.
So and the next video will be with you.
Lime Crisis.
Yes, exactly. Lime Crisis.
They just released another one. I'm getting on the 19th, which is Rye Fighter. It's a double IPA done for Ryu and Street Fighter.
Oh, okay.
So I'm getting that one.
That'd be right up
and there's another
alley.
Yes, that's why you need to come out to Grinkers. Street Fighter is so much fun.
Oh, you whooped my ass at Joel's. So yeah, I'll play again.
Well, Grinkers is a different story though. Like dollar beers, man.
Right.
Going for hours and hours.
I was in my Grinkers modes by that time. By the time I got to Joel's, so yeah.
and I was too sober. Yeah.
No, it was a good night. Yeah, definitely. No,
there's always a huge crowd that plays Street Fighter at Grinkers, though.
Yeah.
It never ends. I hope Mike. Damn, it's too bad Andrew's not on. I was going to ask him if Mike was planning on coming to Grinkers again. I like Mike.
What's Mike's handle?
Lethargy.
Lethargy. That's right.
Yep.
Akuma Killer.
He's good shit though. We have a lot of fun. Yeah. We played in Andrew's garage like the whole time. I was like, I'm gonna get a beer, and I'd come back. He's like, are you ready to go? I'm like, Jesus,
Andrew. Nice.
Yeah.
Hey, Jim, send me off, man. Good night, everybody. I gotta get
Gleek.
Gleek.
Maybe we'll see you again in 3 or 4 months.
Goes as fast as he comes.
Yeah, thanks for joining us.
Don't let your pooper get wrecked.
Yeah. Thanks for hosting the IRC. Lots of.
I'm never gonna live that down.
That was the quote of the weekend.
Yes, it was.
Yeah.
I'm still laughing about it.
That was so funny.
You guys should have hung around.
Getting wrecked.
Oh fuck! Glick should have stuck around. He didn't see my message in our chat. I was going to help him out with that software for Megatouch. That's all right.
Yeah.
I like that when that quote got to.
Sorry, you can put it in the Slack group. He's on the Slack group.
Ah, that's right.
When that quote finally got to Griffin, and Griffin looks around the room, he's all, "I'm a gentleman."
Yeah.
I would have been passed out by then, or not. I barely remember meeting Carrie, so yeah.
Yeah. The first night. Oh my god, you were.
Well, Carrie got in at 1 o'clock, so
yeah.
Pretty much, just about. Yeah, it was about 12:30. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. I lasted longer than I thought I would did.
Yeah.
So,
I missed the whole. Yeah. I play like that's okay. That's not gonna happen at Brofest. That's not gonna happen with Grinkers.
Yeah.
No more.
I'm done with that any longer. Yeah, exactly. I'm done.
You're gonna book a day early.
Yeah. Wednesday, like Jimbo has planned, right? Yeah.
Good night, everybody. Night. Night.
Yeah,
Jimbo,
right.
Jimbo
Good
just
night,
upload it to the Slack group. I'll get it from Slack group there, Jimbo.
Hey, you guys.
That is the largest can of beer I've ever seen in my life.
Speaking of which, I'm gonna go get another beer, so I'll be back in a second.
Another.
All right.
Did I open another one or not?
Yes.
Right.
Hey, if I'm drinking, everyone needs to. No.
All right.
All right. In that case, I gotta reload.
Oh.
Oh boy.
Wow. He is a young guy. Doesn't take long.
It's actually not late there.
Yeah, about 10 minutes is my average, so. And then it lasts longer the second time.
10 seconds and then 10 minutes to recharge.
Yeah,
So we
about that.
we were talking about Slick Nick on his vacation earlier.
Mm-hmm.
He actually chimed in on the Grinkfest 6 thread.
Oh,
They
that's
count
awesome.
him and his wife in. So
Woo!
yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
They are very nice folks. It was fun getting to hang out with them and spend more time because I missed them last Grinkers pretty much. Like they were leaving right about the time by the time my 15 flights had been canceled.
Yeah, you were there so late. Yeah.
Oh my god, yeah. So I thought I'd be like the first one there, and I ended up being. Yeah, maybe we might want to keep that in consideration for any kind of arrangements with me picking up the rental car and shuttling people around is my really shit ass luck with.
Right.
But no, I'm done with that. That was totally 2018, 17, and
yeah,
early.
But that worked out for me because I got that $600 voucher and an upgrade to first class.
Yes, you did.
Oh, that's right.
That $600 got me 3 flights out to California.
Jeez, nice.
And flying first class for the first time was totally worth it. I drank 5 or 6 vodka cranberries.
No,
and first class. I'm taking advantage of this.
Oh, totally. Every time I was like, I'll take 2 or whatever. We landed, and then I was already buzzing. My Lyft driver picks me up. I get dropped off at our B&B, and then I bolt. I was literally running, I was sprinting to Grinkers. I got there. I'm like out of breath. There's guys outside. And I'm like, hey guys. Then I get inside. And I'm like, I need a beer. And then there's Andrew, I meet up with everyone. Right. But awesome. I was already feeling good.
Yeah. Nice. I emptied my suitcase the other day finally, and I found this in the bottom of it.
Oh, there you go. Nice little hidden gem.
I didn't know I even brought any back, so I'm like, wow, an extra beer I got into Australia.
There you go.
That's a common beer over here, actually.
Yeah.
Never seen it in Australia. It's nice. Yeah, it's tasty.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
I like the 805.
I've had
that.
That's
kind of their easy drinker.
Yeah, that's a session beer. You just keep drinking it.
Yeah, I bought a 6-pack of that on my last afternoon there, and I just walked around drinking them. So yeah, they were good.
Yeah, it's not like too strong like an IPA. It'll fuck you up too fast. So you just keep drinking them.
That's what I did. That's what I did at the airport, so I could sleep on the plane. So yeah. I had a lot of I think it was Goosehead IPA or something like that, and yeah, they had 22-ounce ones of them. The big glasses of them for like $7. So I smashed one of them, and then got on the plane and I slept at least 7 hours on that 13-hour flight. So it was great.
Oh,
that's good. That's good.
That was good. Yeah.
Well, we'll be thinking of you at Grinkers. It's
That's right. Yeah.
I understand it.
I might be there. I might not. But yeah.
Hopefully, you all of a sudden show up in a bikini outfit.
There you go.
Yeah, I wear a bikini, but I'd have to talk to you guys about it offline. So yeah, that's it.
Okay.
All right.
No worries.
Yeah. So yeah. That's about
Are you
it.
gonna show up in a bikini T-shirt like Buffett?
I'd show up in a bikini instead of the T-shirt.
Yeah, right.
I got this Aussie beach bod. So.
And stir your tea real loud.
I'll turn up drunk. So.
You're Australian. Are you ever sober?
Not in the last couple of months, actually. No.
At least not voluntarily.
He's having a good couple of months.
Yeah.
Gravatar wants to know what time it is.
I'm about to reply to him right now. So, yeah. Everybody fucking wants to know what time it is. What time did we finish the other day, Buffett? Like, it was like nearly 7 o'clock here at night when we finished the chat the other day. It was, we talked for about another 3 hours after, didn't we? Yeah.
Something like that, 3, 4.
Yeah.
Something.
Yeah.
I logged off at like 3 a.m. my 3:30 my time.
Yeah, I was pretty drunk by the time we finished. So yeah.
Yeah.
It was,
2 hours or something before we got off.
Yeah, it was a long time. Yeah. No, it was a good chat. I like your Star Wars collection.
Thank you.
No, my daughter really liked looking at that stuff too. So.
I know. Every time I'd show something, she'd hop up and down. Daddy, daddy, daddy.
Yeah, no, she did. That was cool.
She was funny.
So I think I have like an idea for a topic of discussion between now and Grinkfest 6. It's like, okay, he's going to add about 50, maybe 60 games. Like, what would we like him to add that we haven't seen there, right? To think about the games.
Oh, that's a good thought.
Shadow Dancer.
Shadow Dancer.
Oh, yes. I'm going to get the fucking world record on that game.
Bouncer.
No, over
Bouncer.
my
Yeah,
Shadow
there you go.
Dancer playing.
Williams Turkey Shoot.
Yeah,
that's
Coliseum Sega.
No, I played that at Arcade Expo. It's fucking terrible.
Mad Dog
I
McCready.
just have
I'm pretty sure a Super Punch Out will make it.
Mad Dog
Yeah,
McCready.
yeah, I think there's a good.
Just a little bit.
I might
Being
happen to
that
have one in my possession that's going there.
Being that I played the game that's in your possession, that's going there.
Yes. All right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What doesn't he
Toki.
have though? Like he's got a lot of
Toki
shit.
would be awesome.
Yeah,
A
Toki
red
would be
tent.
pretty good.
He could use a red tent.
Oh, he doesn't have one?
No.
I
Although
don't
he has an upright versus a dual
Yeah.
system.
Yeah.
I can't wait for Atari.
It's always on versus baseball though, so he needs
Yeah.
to.
I can't wait for Atari subs to be out there. I played in the back room.
Oh shit! I just got a great idea. Why don't I offer to sell Steve my other Mega Touch for his counter? For
That
his
would
bar.
be cool. I want to make it.
Yeah.
Does he
Oh my
want to
God,
leave
that might-
space, though?
Dude, that will rake in money. Look at how many people just sit at the bar the whole time.
True.
Yeah, I'm not saying it's a bad thing. So
Yeah.
Playing Penthouse Photo Hunt. Like, come on.
Well, he would probably turn that off.
Yeah.
Except when we're there.
Well, that's
Right.
He may want. He may not want it just because of, he may not want it just because of the year it was made. It's so new, compared to everything else.
True. But
He's stretched up to like 91, 92, I think. I don't know beyond that.
He has some bar top arcade game. I
Bar
just-
Yes, the
Bar
he has
tart.
shoes. He has shoes.
I'm a bar tart, that's
His
for
shoes.
sure.
He has
Bar
shoes. He has shoes, but look at how
Yeah.
big that bar is. Like that bar
Yeah.
countertop.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean,
Oh, okay.
I don't know. I think that'd
Yeah.
be a good idea for him.
Yeah, I think so too.
I mean, if he wants an older version, I mean, shit, Merritt put out countertop games from the 90s, pretty old. But I think he'd make a lot of money if he set it up at default pricing, which is basically $1 is 3 games on average. And there's card games, there's like 150 games on that thing. And a lot of people recognize what it is. But
I agree. I think he would make money at it. 100%.
Yep.
there's so many bar junkies that just sit at the bar. So, anyways.
I'm one of them. I like bars.
Me too, Dave. Me too. I need some more wine.
I need more beer. I've only got one left in the fridge.
Uh-oh.
You're not
I know,
stocked
it's just-
up? That'd burn you.
No, I've got a shitload of beer left from America, but I'm saving it for my friends. So.
Daddy, wait, my mom.
Daddy, do you have another beer for me?
Daddy, Mom's dropping you some beer off in a minute.
I wish.
Oh man,
that sounds funny. I like that.
Yeah, I'm totally sending Steve a PM.
What kind of vino are you drinking there, Jim?
Not a vino. Just a cab. Just a
cab sad.
That's a vino.
I bought 3 bottles. I like the dry of the dry. So
okay.
Yeah, I'm not too picky, but I like the wine to be dry enough where I'm like, I need a glass of water after I finish this.
Yes, that's the way I drink wine too. That's it. Yeah, that's the only type of wine I enjoy.
Yep.
I like the wet kind.
So Chris Rad on
the one that
YouTube,
comes in a box.
Chris Rad on YouTube said this show makes it hard to be sober most Tuesdays.
Yeah, yay!
I've done one show sober and it was.
See, the first half of the show is arcade games. The other half is like, I don't know.
That's being generous. First half, I mean, well, first half
Doing
hour.
a show sober is the equivalent of childbirth.
We start out with good intentions,
right?
Yeah.
That goes off the rails.
Oh damn! Though it was fun watching that Brofest video and seeing Gak. I'm like, oh god, he was so lit. I actually seen a few people, and like John shows up. Hey, wow, it's an eyes machine, and you can see in the expression on my face, it's just like stone, like straight. I'm like, oh god, there's like the 10th time he's done this.
Yeah, right.
Was that what it's all about? I thought you wanted to punch him or something.
I know I do look kind of pissed off, but it literally it was like the 7th or 8th time that they had done. He's like, I gotta redo this.
Yeah, and then he came back hours later.
Madonna.
It was like,
where's the sound? Where's the sound and all this shit? I'm like, all right.
Oh, and then I'm like, Sean, it's there. Why you're in... Yeah, Sean.
It looked like a fun weekend anyway.
It was a blast. My question is, how annoyed was Adam Sandler when? Can you imagine Greg trying to be like, "Hey, do you mind if we record? Like, can I walk next to you?" And then we record it, and he got like a 1.5 seconds of Adam Sandler going blah 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 blah, and no one knew what he was saying.
I know, I couldn't tell what he said.
It's like, come on, dude, I'm about to take a shit. Leave me alone.
Yeah, pretty much. Right.
He said,
"I just farted."
Yeah.
Hey, he was super cool, Jerry. When I was there, and then I asked him to take a photo. I'm like, oh, I'm going to be that guy. And he was going off to do s'mores or something. Walk by. He's like, oh, man, I'll come back in a minute and take the photo. I'm like, God, I was a dick. I'm that guy. And then he comes back like a minute later. He's like, hey, man, you want to take that photo? I'm like, hey, I'm all hammered. I'm like, no
wow.
way.
He probably thought you were actually that guy from Breaking Bad. So he's like,
yeah.
Nice. Oh, wait, you're not that guy? Wow, Dave, that's a great story though. That makes me think.
He came back, and I was like, "Oh, nice."
And then you just like
flatted
in your pants.
Yeah. When I got my picture with them, I just said, "Would you mind if I take a picture real quick?" And he's like, "Yeah, no problem." I just said, "Man, my kids are gonna freak out when they see this picture." And like right as I'm taking the picture, he's all, "Tell your kids I said hi." Yeah, so I was like,
"That's cool. That's very cool."
Yeah.
I didn't believe it when everyone we were at Fun Spot,
Yeah.
so it was like, "Oh yeah, Adam Sandler's at the hotel." I'm like,
now, if Ty tried to take a picture with him, I can understand him being like,
"Oh, what about Ty's wife taking a picture with him?" Huh?
Telling you what?
Well, that's a different type of picture, Brad.
So the guy who runs the repair stuff at Fun Spot, shoot, what's his name? Gary.
Yeah, no.
Gary.
Is it Gary? No, you're not Gary. It's the other guy.
Yeah, it's Gary. I can't remember his last name right now.
Who is this Gary character?
Yeah. Well, he said,
I thought Gary would run it. I didn't know he repaired shit.
You know, Gary, our son Gary.
Yeah. He worked there since like 82 or something crazy.
Yeah.
Gary, I can't believe, Mom, I never.
So
I don't
he
know
said,
what you're talking about, but I want
The
you to
water
shut
was
up.
running.
Never talk.
So we were all talking about it when Ty.
Mom, I never.
So Ty sent like a he did a Twitter thing, or I don't know, some message saying he saw Adam Sandler, and so everybody was talking about it, and I was still at Fun Spot, and I
was there with you when
with Gary, and he's all actually shit, what's his name?
Adam Sandler.
Gary.
Adam Sandler used to go there when he was like a teenager.
Yeah, he was from up in that
grew up in
area
the
all
area.
the time. Yeah.
And he's all, no one knew who he was until later, but they recognized him once he became famous, like on Saturday Night Live and stuff.
Well, he said he was just there like the summer before or something like that with his kids playing games.
Yeah, but right. So like the Grown Ups movie, they go to the Lake Winnipesaukee or whatever in that movie.
Yeah,
it's like all in that same area, where he grew up as a teenager and stuff. So yeah, it was pretty cool.
That movie wasn't shot over there, right?
I wouldn't have
Grown Ups.
Yeah,
I'm not sure where they shot it.
yeah, it's probably Canada.
Yeah, I know, right? It's cheap.
Oh, probably
Yeah.
Canada.
Yeah.
So
Everything's
probably
shot in
Vancouver.
Everything's shot in Vancouver. Fuck, it's insane. Everything's shot up here.
My wife and I recently watched. We watched that Steve Martin movie, Roxanne. She's never seen it. So
That's
we
shot
watched it
in
together.
town.
And that's all
great
shot in
movie.
Canada. Yeah.
Was it really?
Great movie.
It's all shot in a small little town up here.
Have you been there?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's really pretty.
How many arcade machines did you buy from that town?
Right.
None.
Hey, the original Rambo was shot up here too.
Oh, that town is
in
in
the forest.
Vancouver.
Yeah.
Oh. All right, guys. I'm gonna.
Yeah, is it time we call it? It's 11 o'clock.
Yeah, probably.
All right.
Oh, bunch of wimps.
Yeah.
We gotta wake up and go to a thing called Gob.
Yeah,
I know.
Yeah.
Grown
Ups don't have to have the commute you guys do.
Grown Ups was filmed in Essex, Massachusetts.
There you go.
Oh,
Okay,
okay.
there you go.
You beat me to it.
So, yeah, good times, guys, and
Thanks everybody for joining the show today in chat.
What is it?
Sarah
What is it? Mark, the longest running
podcast ever.
I'm trying to get somebody else to say it.
300% more women and 300% less guitar.
And we kick more rocks than the other guy.
Yeah.
The longest running live podcast on arcade podcast on YouTube.
Yeah, there we go.
Here we go.
So, I think we're gonna start talking about more and more as we go on. We got there's really 3 events coming up. There's Fun Spot with Leo in charge, however we call that event, coming up at the beginning of June, and then at the end of July we got California Extreme coming up. So we'll see what we got going on there. I've been talking to Jacob at Con Club, so we're gonna try to do something there, and then Grinkfest in October. So Grinkfest 6, the arcade hangout. I'm gonna be running that, so hosting it. So looking forward to that.
Cax.
So
Looking forward to seeing Sid Seattle at all those events.
What's that, Orange Rip?
I'm looking forward to seeing Sid Seattle at all those events.
Right.
Are you really?
We'll most likely
Well, then
be
we'll
at 2
send
of
him
them
your
at least.
way.
Yeah.
Yeah, since you're looking forward to it so much, we'll make certain that we point you out.
Okay.
Oh, he'll fucking be
Very
there.
much.
He'll fucking be there.
Greaseball was asking about having someone to roommate with at Grinkfest. So I think Sid Seattle is his #1 pick. That's what I'm going to recommend. So,
Your face shield.
Hazmat suit.
So spit doesn't land in your mouth.
Oh, don't remind me. I fucking still haven't brushed my teeth on. I swear.
all right, so good times. I don't know if we'll wind up doing any of the weekly games for a little bit. I've been busy, so if anybody else wants to do
Yeah,
it,
we haven't
they're
done
more
that in a
welcome.
while, huh?
Yeah. So you volunteering to do it, Mock?
No.
Oh. Thought I tried to pass it off on somebody else.
Let's have Griffin do it.
There we go. It's all like themed on home theaters. It's like
that software is going to break and nobody can fix it.
Griffin, I hope best with you, buddy. So, all right. So I guess that's it. Tune in next Tuesday to the longest running live arcade podcast on YouTube, and we'll see you guys then.
And I need you now tonight. I fucking need you. If you hold me tight, forever.